Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios, it's Great Day on KCWI TV.
Good morning. It is 6 o'clock, right on the nose. Welcome to Great Day for this Tuesday. And we have yet to have our special guests arrive. We're still looking at the front door to see if they are going to get here on time. I'm not sure if the living members of the band Led Zeppelin are going to be here or not. They were on Letterman last night, and we're hoping that they're going to show up today.
Got some calls.
So, it could be a surprise. If they show up, it's going to be a big surprise. So we are looking forward to that. They agreed to be on Letterman, and so they were on last night, and that was kind of cool. And so we'll see if they show up. The invite's out there, so we'll see if they end up showing up. So that was pretty cool.
I hope they show up when I'm here.
How about that?
They'll be here tomorrow.
But in case you missed Led Zeppelin on the Letterman show last night, it was classic David Letterman and classic Robert Plant. The whole band was just classic. I was telling Jason here just a couple of seconds ago, I didn't realize how funny those guys really were.
Really?
If you have a chance to go to YouTube and YouTube it and try to take a peek at it, go ahead and do so, because it's well worth it. And they just sat there. They did not play, though. That was the only bad part.
They
didn't play. They didn't play.
Well, that's odd.
Yeah, when you consider who they are, no, not really. But they didn't play, but they were just very personable. And I went, what in the world would make these guys decide to show up on Letterman? And then toward the end of the interview, Letterman holds up the DVD that just came out last week.
Yeah.
Their performance.
They got something to peddle.
I'd love to see it. By the way, this is the coolest bracelet you have worn yet. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we can get a shot of this.
My tennis shoe
but hold it.
bracelet?
Yeah, it's from a Converse All-Star, like the sole of the shoe. Isn't that cool? I love that. What a great idea. You always do
I have
cool
some really
stuff.
classy stuff, don't I?
I love that. That's awesome.
There are no diamonds and sparkly things in my jewelry box.
The old pieces of shoe around your wrist.
I wear old shoes, beat up leather. Yeah, it's good stuff.
I don't understand the diamonds and sparkly things, by the way.
You don't?
No.
Well, hopefully you have a wife that understands that too.
Well,
huh? I'd rather wear gravel and real rocks than
I just don't get it.
Gravel.
Diamond. Yeah, absolutely.
Gravel is a girl's best friend.
The sparkly rocks thing.
I know. It's such a weirdo.
That's what I'm giving Chick for Christmas, a bag of gravel.
Or you got to do something with it. You can't just put it in a bag. Wrap some wire around it, make it pretty.
Got to polish it up.
I'll buy a bag of gravel and I'll let you just dress it up, okay? We'll see how creative Michelle really is with a bag of gravel. She doesn't want diamonds. She wants gravel.
Bracelets, rings, pendants. There's lots of possibility in a bag of gravel.
So that story we had on, was it yesterday or day before yesterday, about the people that take the droppings from various animals, from reindeer, and make jewelry out of them? That's a really cool idea in your eyes? Did you hear about
I missed that story.
Oh, yeah, that was last week.
I don't know. Rocks, that's different than poo.
Well,
I don't want jewelry out of poo.
If you let it sit long enough, it is a rock. So
things we've learned so far: rocks are different.
Good morning, everybody.
Well, see, and Michelle's worried about us. Okay, she's worried about what we're going to say.
I've filled in too many days because it's starting to rub off on me.
Well, speaking of days, we're going to have at least another nice day, Jason, I hope.
Yes, it will be. In fact, I think nicer than yesterday overall.
Really?
Maybe not as warm. We hit 69 degrees yesterday, so we beat the old record by 6 degrees, which is significant. I've got, instead of rocks, I have underwear. Shiny rocks, underwear, morning weather brief, nice day.
Smiley, happy underwear.
Look at that guy. He's got sparkly teeth. 37 right now, 25-degree dew point, west-southwesterly winds at 6. We're in the 20s in northwest Iowa, and we're still in the 40s, at least to start off this Tuesday, in the eastern part of Iowa. So the rain, and we didn't get much of this around the area yesterday. They actually had some strong storms in Illinois last night. That rain obviously moving into the Ohio Valley, and not much behind it for now. I think that 55 might be a little bit conservative today, but 48 tomorrow. Chance of rain, that'll be mainly late Thursday. Beyond Friday, I wouldn't put a lot of money on anything in that forecast. A lot of uncertainty for the weekend and next week. What's looking more certain is that we might see our first snowflakes fly across central Iowa. Best chance for that would be on Sunday night. Doesn't look like a lot of snow, but a rain changing over to snow type of situation and some chillier temperatures. Better chances for precipitation next week.
All righty. Hey, Ron the Car Guy going to be coming in here in just a little bit, and perfect timing since you mentioned the possibility of snow in the forecast. He'll be talking
talking about things you can do to your vehicle to help get it ready for winter and some things you might want to keep in mind and you might want to take care of before it gets cold. So Ron will be here before 7 o'clock this morning. But right now it's time for Rip and Read headlines.
There's some royally big news out of Britain. The palace announced Prince William and his wife Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, are expecting their first child after 19 months of marriage. The royal revelation came as Catherine was admitted to a central London hospital with acute morning sickness. She's expected to be there for several days, followed by a period of rest. William and Catherine were married on April 29, 2011, in London's biggest royal wedding in 3 decades. The baby would be the first grandchild for the heir to the British throne, Prince Charles, and the late Diana, Princess of Wales. A due date has not been announced. A proposal by House Republicans to avoid the so-called fiscal cliff was quickly rejected by the White House. GOP leaders outlined their plan in a letter to President Obama on Monday. It would reportedly shave more than $2 trillion from the deficit over the next decade. The proposal includes cuts from programs like Medicare and proposed savings through tax reform. In a statement, White House officials said the plan isn't fair and balanced and sticks the middle class with the bill. President Obama has said any deal must raise taxes on the wealthy. Republicans object to any increase in taxes. Without a compromise, automatic tax hikes and spending cuts are scheduled to take effect January the 1st. A unit from Iran's Navy has captured a U.S. drone flying over the Persian Gulf, according to Iranian state media reports Tuesday. The drone, which was collecting data, was captured immediately after entering Iranian airspace. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps is cited as saying by the state-run news agency IRNA. However, a U.S. defense official who could not be named because they were not authorized to speak to the media told CNN that whatever the Iranians claim to have, it is not an actively operating U.S. Navy drone. The U.S. Navy has fully accounted for all unmanned air vehicles operating in the Middle East region. Our operations in the Gulf are confined to internationally recognized water and airspace, the source said. An article in today's
Even I don't believe that.
Oh, good soundbite there.
We're not doing anything wrong.
An article in today's Des Moines Register says the number of children in poverty has increased over the past decade in all of Iowa's 99 counties, a sobering statistic that members of a state public policy group link to the national economic downturn. In 7 counties, more than 1 in 4 children in 2010 lived below the poverty level set at $22,314 for a family of 4. The statewide child poverty rate sits at 16.2%. That's up from 10.8% in 2000, according to the annual Iowa Kids Count report released today. That statistic needs to change.
Yes, it does.
A Rhode Island man who financed movie projects here in Iowa filed a lawsuit in Polk County District Court on Monday, claiming the state of Iowa ruined his business and cost him millions of dollars when it ended its film tax credit program. Anthony Goodas of Providence, Rhode Island, said his company, Tax Credit Finance, borrowed money to finance 4 film projects based on contracts with the state. Iowa had promoted a program in which it would issue tax credits that paid half of a film's production costs. However, a state audit uncovered $26 million in credits that were improperly issued by the Department of Economic Development, and the program was halted in September of 2009, a probe that led to 7 convictions. Goodas is alleging breach of contract and is suing the department for unpaid tax credits plus interest and costs. He spent about $9 million and is owed about $4.5 million, said his attorney Angela Campbell of Des Moines. That does not include lost profit. The state is represented by the Iowa Attorney General's office. Deputy Attorney General Jeffrey Thompson said Monday in a statement that he couldn't comment on the merits of the lawsuit. And love him or hate him, it's been quite a year for LeBron James. First, he led the Miami Heat to the NBA title. Then he led Team USA to gold at the Summer Olympics in London. Now LeBron can add one more achievement. Sports Illustrated is naming him the 2012 Sportsman of the Year. Previous winners of Sportsman of the Year include Muhammad Ali, Billie Jean King, Arthur Ashe, Michael Jordan, and Wayne Gretzky. James is one of just 6 professional basketball players to win the award. And there you have it, kids. News of the day for your Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like one of the little news of sports interest. Looks like Redskins were victorious last night by 1 point.
So it was a good game right here.
RG3 pulled through.
Now, do you have him in your fantasy?
Oh, yes, we do.
Well,
and the running back, too, Morris, too. So we had a halfway decent night last night. So
good for you.
We're happy campers in the world of fantasy football. Yeah, I'm that twisted. It's 10 minutes past 6 o'clock. We'll be right back. This is Great Day.
Year in and year out, we all work together to make sure the job gets done right, each and every time. We believe it's the little things that count. So from our family to your family, happy holidays!
It's time for Break a Leg Trivia. What was the name of the horse at the center of the production of War Horse? A. Joey, B. Buddy, or C. Chief?
What's your style? Traditional, contemporary, urban, transitional, vintage reclaimed. Whatever your style, Homemakers has something for everyone. With Iowa's largest selection and lowest prices. Stop by today to see all of the fabulous finds in one of the largest showrooms in America. Homemakers, making your house a home since 1974.
It's hot, it's cool, in a booth or on a stool. It's the Five and Diner, and quite the rage for kids of every age. They'll feel like a star, 'cause their food comes in a car. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, our menu's been a winner. Where the eats and treats just couldn't be finer, bringing your family to the Five and Diner. It's spiffy, it's nifty, it's food fun and 50s. Makes you feel like a kid again.
The answer is A. Joey. Join Joey the Warhorse and his keeper Albert as they embark on separate journeys through the battlefields of World War I in hopes of being reunited. Warhorse takes the Civic Center stage December 11th through 16th. Visit civiccenter.org for more information or to buy tickets.
Okay.
How about that?
Goodness.
2001. This was a big deal. Kiss and Makeup book released by Gene Simmons. It's hard to believe that he released this without even saying anything to the media.
Really?
You couldn't turn on religious broadcasts without seeing Gene Simmons on. He was everywhere. I'm serious.
He's a marketing machine, isn't he?
Even I'm falling and I can't get up. I think he was on that commercial too. He did a cameo.
He just walks in and sticks his tongue out, walks back out.
But again, that's Gene Simmons. But 2001 is when that book was released. Every major Kiss fan had to get that book. It was people clamoring to get that.
Is it still available today, I wonder?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. On Amazon, of course. And that was well before the one they released, last year? Remember the book they released last year, Jason? That was a coffee table book, which literally was a coffee table-sized book. It was about this big. And only thing it was missing was a stand to put it on. And it could have turned into a coffee table.
And they'll probably sell that, too.
Oh, yeah, they're thinking about it. But the weather forecast, another nice one, hopefully.
Yeah, I think a nicer day than yesterday. Maybe not temperature-wise. It was a little breezy out there. We hit a record high temperature of 69 degrees.
Wow.
That's the warmest. It tied the warmest temperature it's ever been in Des Moines in December. That was set in 1998. That happened last. So significant. But it won't be as breezy today. It'll be sunnier, and that's why our guys happy there. Our morning weather brief, 37 degrees, west-southwesterly winds at 6. We're in the 20s in northwest Iowa, 30s across most of the state with some 40s still along the Mississippi River, at least to start off the day today. Rain has moved to the east. Actually, tornado warnings in Illinois last night, believe it or not. Those showers and thunderstorms pushing into the Ohio Valley. We're left with what will be a pretty nice day. 55 degrees. I think we'll actually get a little warmer than that. 48 Wednesday. Thursday, a late rain chance. Friday, 39 degrees. And then after that, it gets a lot murkier for the weekend. It looks like a rain chance Sunday that could change over to some light snow Sunday night. That's the best guess right now. Hopefully things will get a little clearer as we move toward the middle of the week.
All right, we have some movie and TV news to tell you about briefly here before we hear from Ginny Mose. First of all, good news for Bill Murray fans. You ready for this? Bill Murray has agreed to show up and be part of Ghostbusters 3.
What?
Yes.
They talked him into it?
They talked him into it. They say no further details, but he said, you know what? He says, I support you guys fully. I'll be there. Good news.
I'm surprised.
He said he wasn't going to do it, but he finally has cracked there. Also, Howard Stern is going to show up and do another season of America Has Got Talent. Sharon Osbourne is out after she had her falling out with NBC. And Howie Mandel hasn't made up his mind yet as to whether or not he is coming back. But we learned earlier this year, Jersey Shore, done. Canceled. Honey Boo Boo, re-signed. Making all kinds of money. The specials will start here, I believe, next week, the Honey Boo Boo specials.
There's specials?
Yes, there's
like
specials.
A holiday special.
That's why it hasn't been on, because they've been making specials, holiday specials. So that'll be coming up.
You two could have your own reality show. It's good news for you guys.
We could do that. We could have a reality show about the show.
There you go. Yeah. How about that? Adam Levine. You guys know who Adam Levine is?
Yes, Maroon 5.
Exactly. Adam Levine teed off on TLC about the Honey Boo Boo show, calling it a catastrophe, dropping F-bombs all over the place. He called them the worst people. I'm just trying to clean this up as best I can because he used Farfignugan many times.
If you will.
They are the worst people. So that was his take on that. But, you know, something, Jersey Shore is gone, but there's another show that is starting to get a lot of traction and a lot of publicity, looking at the people of West Virginia. And the backwards people of West Virginia, that's getting all kinds of talk now. They say this might replace Jersey Shore.
Huh.
I believe it is called Buck Wild.
Is that good? Is that good or bad?
Jeannie quality of television has really...
Jeannie Mose decided she's going to find out.
You can't help but watch. That's the thing.
Let's find out.
It's as if they crossed Honey Boo Boo.
Our cat is possessed.
With Jersey Shore.
10 hottest, craziest Guidos.
We've got the whitest, craziest hillbillies.
Our motto around here is whatever happens, happens.
What happens is fighting, licking, rolling down a hill in a tractor tire. With its run ending, MTV needed a replacement for it. But I'm going to Sissonville, West Virginia. It doesn't quite have the same ring to it. Better to name the new show.
Buck Wild.
The new reality series starts January 3rd in the time slot now occupied by Jersey Shore. Buck Wild features 9 young adults, as MTV puts it, a whole new hell-raising group of friends for you to fall in love with. Jersey Shore sand. Make way for West Virginia mud. But West Virginians are worried their reputation will be mud.
I think it's just going to make us look kind of trashy, like ridiculous.
Posted one critic, I am so humiliated. As a native of Sissonville, West Virginia, where they are filming this train wreck, I am just devastated that my hometown is going to be slandered by this show. Never have I ever done any of those things, especially swim in a dump truck. Y'all want to swim in a pool? MTV wouldn't comment on the criticism. The West Virginia Film Office twice tried to discourage the show's producers by rejecting their requests for state tax credits. But the show barreled on.
One way in, one way out. Don't know way around, stay the down.
The bleep was the only part of that I understood. This show needs subtitles, suggested one poster, but it may be more civilized if you don't know what they're saying.
You guys in my bed. How disrespectful is that?
Sorry.
It's either a barrel of laughs or the bottom of the barrel. Ginny Mo, CNN.
Y'all want a swimming pool?
New York.
Oh, my goodness.
January 3rd.
That looks terrible.
Yeah.
My children are never watching television.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'll watch it for you.
I don't know. I'm just going to go on the record and say that I don't think that's going to have the shelf life that Jersey Shore has had.
Probably not. They're just trying.
And not even that show's a train wreck, but
they're throwing something at the wall
terrible.
and see if it sticks.
And hey, you know what though? I guess there's
In
a lot
this
of people
day and
out there that
age,
like that
you
stuff.
never know.
Well, and it's it's cheap to produce for them.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
The kids get paid almost nothing, and they bring some cameras and lights out, and
And if it works, then they'll pay them a little bit more and keep it going. If not, they're not out that much money.
Right.
So
I'm not defending it; it's garbage, but
I'm sure it is.
That's why they do it.
Yeah. But,
by the way, I just found out the Weather Service just tweeted we are right now at 274 days with no measurable snowfall. Because remember, it didn't snow in April in Des Moines, and that's never happened before. So when we get to 277, we'll tie the record for. And we should make it.
We should.
So 274, so the countdown has begun.
Yeah.
All right.
The longest streak without snowfall in Des Moines.
You can do it.
We can do it.
Yes,
we just
indeed.
believe in
all kinds of records this year.
Just believe in ourselves. That's right.
6:20. We'll be right back.
Save up to 80% on Mattress Outlet USA's year-end floor model clearance event. That's right, up to 80% off. Check out this luxury queen set, originally priced at $2,600, now only $499, including a free bed frame and free delivery. Hurry into either Mattress Outlet USA location, because at prices like this, these beds are sure to move fast. Save up to 80% off today.
Save the night to high prices. Mattress Outlet USA.
Steve Harvey, the runaway hit that everyone's talking about.
I'm caliente.
Oh, yes, you are.
Harvey has created something fresh and really funny.
Oh, I got this one.
Harvey's fans tune in for Harvey. Those smiles say it all.
We're playing, we're learning, and most of all, we're having fun.
Today at 2 on KCWI.
Have you suffered a personal injury or been impaired by an auto accident? Are you unsure if you're entitled to workers' compensation? Hamilton Law Firm is one of the oldest family-owned law firms in Iowa, helping individuals and families across the state for 130 years. They may be able to help you. If you are too injured to meet with them, they can fly anywhere in Iowa to meet with you. Hamilton Law Firm in Clive, Storm Lake, and Sioux City. Contact Hamilton Law at 309-3536 or online at hamiltonlawfirmpc.com.
This Tuesday.
I'm Blake. Nice to meet you.
Would you heal someone?
Approach him with caution.
He raped 4 women. Choked the last one in a plastic bag and left her for dead.
Who doesn't deserve to live?
You don't get to just cure good people.
No personal details. Certainly not your names.
This guy's a rapist.
You took an oath to heal the sick.
You're scared of me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Emily.
My name. How does he know my name?
Emily Owens, MD.
Tonight at 8, brought to you by Plato's Closet.
Next time on Bill, more mother-daughter drama.
You have no respect for me. You don't love me. You treat me like I'm somebody on the street that you just met.
Today at 3 on KCWI.
Good morning. It is 6:23. Welcome back to a great day on this 4th day of December as we're clicking away here, getting ever so close to Christmas, and coming up here in just a little bit, next hour as a matter of fact, we're going to show you some pretty cool Christmas trees from around the area that people have sent to us, and we'll give you some information on how you can send us some more Christmas trees. And then we're going to take it one step further, courtesy of Michelle. She had a pretty good idea about these Christmas trees.
I did?
And
and what people can do
When did I do that?
to help decorate them and help us decorate ours.
Yes. I think that's a great idea.
I'm going to write notes for you of what we've talked about.
No, that was yesterday, though, so I have moved on.
Almost 24 hours ago,
I didn't think you liked the idea, so I just,
No, we'll just smile and say, good idea, Michelle.
Yeah, I get that a lot. I'm used to it.
But that's pretty cool.
I keep on going.
That's pretty cool. It also gives you encouragement, okay? We're going to show you some Christmas trees that will give you encouragement that no matter what you decide to use for a Christmas tree, it's going to be okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Do you do real trees or fake trees?
I have a real fresh tree. Oh, yeah. I love the smell.
I know. I miss the smell.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Good stuff. And then you can take that when Christmas is over, you let that die back, and you can turn it into like a bottle tree out in your yard. And
oh, really?
It's got other uses. Mm-hmm.
Turn it into a what?
Bottle tree, or, you save the shell of it, the trunk, and cut the branches, and you can put it in some plaster of Paris and plant it out in the yard and hang stuff on. Yeah, it's good. Or you can cut it up and make jewelry and coasters, and there's all kinds of stuff you do. It's that tree gets.
Do you even have a garbage can at your house? Do you even own a garbage can?
I do not have garbage service.
I didn't think you did.
Good for you.
I do. Well, don't give me too. We have the office, so sometimes I'll have a little bit, and I just take it over to the office.
Just go to.
But I do try to, some weeks it's better than others.
Throw it in the dumpster.
Take it over to the gas station.
No, I haven't done that. That's a good idea.
By the way, I was in Van Meter. Was it 2 weeks ago? I went to talk to a school, and I saw something I've never seen before. A train comes into town. Train stops by the Casey's. Engineer gets out, goes into Casey's to get some stuff. I've never seen that before.
Really?
He's like, I need some coffee. Stops the whole train, goes into Casey's to get some coffee.
Well, what do they do? Got to have a
I know. I'm not
I got to go to the bathroom. I don't know what they do.
I just thought it was funny.
If I was Casey's, I'd set up a drive-through for the train conductor, just a little scaffolding thing, just so we didn't have to get out of his train.
They have a little Italian, or it's that snow cone type of a little tropical snow. Is that what they call those? There's one of those right there too. So during the summer months, he probably stops by and grabs a little slushy or something.
There you go.
Just make sure all the people at the next crossing back.
Fred's at the Casey's. Don't worry about it. He'll be done this.
He didn't make you wait, did he? Did he
No.
Okay.
No. That's hilarious.
I just thought it was funny.
Good timing on your end.
I know.
To witness
I got to see a phenomena I'd never seen before.
Only in Iowa.
That's good things going on in Van Meter all the time.
Nice day today. It won't be as breezy as it was yesterday. We'll be in the mid to upper 50s out there. So nice day to stop the train, maybe go for a walk.
That's hilarious.
48 on Wednesday, chance of late rain on Thursday, a little chillier on Friday. The weekend a lot murkier. Looks like Sunday a rain chance, maybe changing over to some snow, but the long-range computer models that we use to forecast have a widely differing opinion, so hopefully that'll become clearer as we get through the next couple of days. But, boy, it sure looks like by maybe Monday we'll see some snowflakes here in Iowa. So Sunday
but we have to go at least 3 more days with no snow.
And then we'll tie the streak, 277 days.
Then we want 4 then.
4 days to beat the streak of no measurable snowfall in Des Moines, because it didn't snow in April at all.
Okay, so that'll work for us.
Wait, is it April or March? I'll find out.
Find out for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Coca-Cola Atlantic Bottling want you to take a look at something pretty cool, so we have some great video here. A tree crushes a car with a couple of people inside. Flooding creates a sinkhole in California. Those things are always very frightening. And a retired veteran who could be one of Santa's elves. You never know. You never know. Take a look at this.
Take a look at this. An Oregon couple was inside this car when a 100-foot fir tree crushed its roof. Both escaped with relatively minor injuries. Rescuers called it remarkable.
They must have had a bright light shining down on them, because if you look at the passenger compartment, especially the driver's compartment, there's about a space of about 2 loaves of bread in there.
Firefighters helped the couple crawl out of the passenger window. Investigators believe a combination of wind and wet soil caused the tree to fall. The San Francisco Bay Area is soggy. 3 storms over the last 5 days have brought about 20 inches of rain to Northern California. In Lafayette, floodwaters created a 20-foot sinkhole that swallowed a road. The collapsing asphalt snapped water and sewage lines. Residents have been told the road won't be completely repaired for several weeks. This holiday season, a retired Air Force vet in Tucson, Arizona, is lending Santa a helping hand. Sammy Eggerman started making wooden toys for needy children last year. He gets his material for free at the University of Arizona, where he's a lab assistant.
We cleaned out the classrooms and threw away all this wood. And I said, we can't throw this away.
Over the past 10 months, he's built nearly 160 planes, trains, and cars. For Take a Look at This, I'm Nick Valencia.
Wow, that's some scary stuff.
Yeah, with the tree falling on the car, then the big sinkholes. Just imagine if that sinkhole, they were talking about all the water, if it was covered up with water and a guy was driving along the road like you're not supposed to, it went right in there. But cool story about Santa having some helpers, and I can't believe
I love that story.
I can't believe I forgot to tell you guys this. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was still in shock. Kids that are watching, I got a call from Santa Claus last night. Honest to goodness, Santa Claus called me right before 5 o'clock. He tried calling earlier and I missed his call, but Santa called me right before 5 o'clock.
How does that show up on your phone? Santa Claus?
It says guy who brings coal.
Yeah, for me. No, it just said private number.
Oh.
Private number. But Santa Claus called and I talked to him, and Santa Claus is going to come in the week before Christmas. He said he's really busy, but he's going to come in. He's going to sit right here the week before Christmas.
Nice.
He didn't tell me what day yet, but he said he has to try to make sure everything's ready to go, and he's going to shoot down here and then visit with us and then go back to the North Pole and finish everything. But Santa Claus is going to be sitting right here the week before Christmas. So if any kids out there want us to ask Santa any questions, or you want to have us give them a list, send it to us here at the station. Go to our Facebook page. Have your mom and dad go to the Facebook page. Oh, heck, you kids know how to do that. Or just send us an email, and we'll give it to Santa when he's here. But the week before Christmas, Santa confirmed yesterday. He said, I want to come on. He's been watching on the internet. Yeah, he's been watching online, which is kind of cool. So Santa Claus watches our show.
So what is the one question you would like to ask Santa when he's sitting there next to you?
I want to ask him I want him to confirm or deny that his sleigh has wheels for when there's no snow.
Oh, yeah. Well,
I want to find out how he lands.
That's a good question.
I want to see if he has wheels or if he has some kind of special material so the sleigh, so the runners don't catch on the roofs of the houses he lands on.
What about you, Jason?
I want to know how he covers so much ground in such a short amount of time.
That's a good one.
There are physicists who've looked at it and said if he, they look at the number of houses he would have to go to, and that he would have to go so fast that he would essentially melt.
Mm-hmm. But that might be a secret, though.
Yeah.
He might not be able to tell us that.
Yeah.
But we'll find out. But again, kids, Santa is going to be sitting right here the week before Christmas. So if you have any questions or some lists you want us to give to Santa Claus, send it to us here at the station, and we'll take care of that. And we'll hand them to him on the air.
Are you going to have you should have some kids come in, too.
Maybe we can do that, too. We can do that. See, you're the idea person, Michelle. That's the reason you're here.
Some are better than others.
It is 6:32. We'll be right back. This is Great Day.
Remember the toys you used to play with? Then you have to stop by Iowa Die-Cast Toys. We have Iowa's largest selection with over 3,000 high-quality toys, most from Iowa companies like Ertl. We have toy tractors, implements, construction equipment, semis, cars, toy soldiers, Breyer horses, and Little Buster toys. Stop by today or visit us online. Find something for your child or really for you. Iowa Die-Cast Toys, just east of the Iowa State Fairgrounds on University.
Do you want $1,000? I sure do. Go to our website and register for a chance to win Carry and Cash. We're giving away 2 $100 cash prizes every week. One person will win 4th row Carrie Underwood tickets and $500 cash, and the grand prize winner will get 4th row tickets and $1,000 cash. Register today at KCWI23.com. It's the Carry and Cash giveaway, brought to you by Stivers Ford and KCWI.
Well, Mama, we're going to have to cancel Christmas this year.
What? Why, Santa?
Because my feet are killing me and these boots are uncomfortable.
Don't worry, Santa. Just go to Fit to Be Tied at Valley West Mall. They have European comfort shoes and boots. They have anatomically correct footbeds that'll cup the heel and support your arch.
And with their selection, I know you'll find a pair that's stylish and comfortable.
These boots feel great. It looks like it's going to be a Merry Christmas after all.
I love Antiques, Iowa. It's so handy to get to right off I-35 in Story City.
And so big. Come on, let's go shopping.
Shop over 18,000 square feet and 240 booths at Antiques, Iowa. Rescue and repurpose great stuff for your home, cabin, man cave, or your backyard. At Antiques, Iowa, you can also find unique vintage and handcrafted jewelry that will complement your style and personality. Discover some unique treasures here at Antiques, Iowa. Open 10 to 7 daily. Stop in soon.
Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios, it's Great Day on KCWI TV.
Good morning. It is 6:34 and live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios. You just heard that, and I found out yesterday I'm going to have a chance to go, and hopefully Carl's going to be out of the office, and they're going to let me play around with that Corvette they're giving away. Remember last week they told you they're giving away a convertible Corvette?
It's like a $90,000.
Yeah, and they want me to go over there and do a little filming of yours truly in the Corvette. And if Moyer's not there, I'm finding the keys. Okay.
You don't think if he's there that you could drive it?
I'll talk to Brett. Carl would lock the keys up.
You think?
Oh yeah, 'cause he knows what I would do with it.
He's a good guy. I think he'd let you take it for a spin.
Now, I'll talk Brett into giving me the keys a little bit. And we'll do a couple of laps. What I want to do with that Corvette, and I'm totally serious, I want to do a reverse spin right in the parking lot.
Oh, well, saying that up front, that lessens your chances of probably getting the keys to go for a spin. If you just say, I'm going to be I'm just going to take it for a nice little...
What she said. But we're gonna have a chance to see the Corvette up close, and we'll show you guys.
Burn rubber in it.
We'll show you guys what it looks like coming up later on this week. So it'll be kind of cool. So we're looking forward to that, and give you more details how you can win that Corvette coming up at the beginning of the year. So that'd be kind of neat. What a way to start 2013!
Wow.
Winning a brand new convertible
nice little
Corvette, like Jason said, worth about $90,000.
You could use it today with the heater on. I mean, it's going to be...
And put the convertible top down like we saw the guy the other day on the Big Vicar. Yeah.
Close to, it'll be close to 60 today, 48 tomorrow. There's a chance of rain late Thursday. After that, it gets a little bit murkier, close to 40 Friday and Saturday. At this point, it looks like rain Sunday changing to snow late Sunday. Won't be a lot of snow. But maybe enough to cover the ground. At 28 degrees on Monday. A lot of uncertainty from Saturday on in this forecast. A lot of disagreement in the long-term computer model, so don't take this to the bank. Haven't seen anything in the way of traffic troubles at this hour.
All right, it is 6:36 and time for Rip and Read headlines.
There's some really big news out of Britain. The palace announced Prince William and his wife Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, are expecting their first child after 19 months of marriage. The royal revelation came as Catherine was admitted to a central London hospital with acute morning sickness. She's expected to be there for several days, followed by a period of rest. William and Catherine were married on April 29, 2011, in London's biggest royal wedding in 3 decades. The baby would be the first grandchild for the heir to the British throne, Prince Charles, and the late Diana, Princess of Wales. A due date has not been announced.
Now, did you guys see the news at all yesterday talking about the reign and who would come in, who would be the next person in charge? Because the Queen is at the top of the totem pole now. Then it's Chuck.
Yep.
Then Bill. Okay. And then it sounds like the kid would be next.
Yeah.
Bill?
Yeah,
William?
Yeah. The kid would
Chuck
be
and
next.
Bill. There you go.
He'd be next, or she'd be next.
And Harry's after him.
Yeah, wouldn't you be mad if
I was going to say,
one of the
poor
other
Harry,
siblings?
he doesn't even get in the,
Harry's just got to walk,
roundup.
poor guy.
Yeah, I think he's got a pretty good life.
Regardless.
And you don't have that responsibility then. Yeah. You can just kind of...
Just chill.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's not so bad. A proposal by House Republicans to avoid the so-called fiscal cliff was quickly rejected by the White House. GOP leaders outlined their plan in a letter to President Obama on Monday. It would reportedly shave more than $2 trillion from the deficit over the next decade. The proposal includes cuts from programs like Medicare and proposed savings through tax reform. In a statement, White House officials said the plan isn't fair and balanced and sticks the middle class with the bill. President Obama has said any deal must raise taxes on the wealthy. Republicans object to any increase in taxes, and without a compromise, automatic tax hikes and spending cuts are scheduled to take effect January the 1st. A unit from Iran's Navy has captured a U.S. drone flying over the Persian Gulf, according to Iranian state media reports Tuesday. The drone, which was collecting data, was captured immediately after entering Iranian airspace. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps is cited as saying by the state-run news agency IRNA. However, a U.S. defense official, who could not be named because they were not authorized to speak to the media, told CNN that whatever the Iranians claim to have, it is not an actively operating U.S. Navy drone. The U.S. Navy has fully accounted for all unmanned air vehicles operating in the Middle East region. Our operations in the Gulf are confined to internationally recognized water and airspace, the source said. An article in today's Des Moines Register says the number of children in poverty has increased over the past decade in all of Iowa's 99 counties, a sobering statistic that members of a state public policy group link to the national economic downturn. In 7 counties, more than 1 in 4 children in 2010 lived below the poverty level, which is set at $22,314 for a family of 4. The statewide child poverty rate sits at 16.2%, up from 10.8% in 2000, according to the annual Iowa Kids Count report released today. A Rhode Island man who financed movie projects here in Iowa filed a lawsuit in Polk County District Court on Monday, claiming the state of Iowa ruined his business and cost him millions of dollars when it ended its film tax credit program. Anthony Goodas of Providence, Rhode Island, said his company, Tax Credit Finance, borrowed money to finance 4 film projects based on contracts with the state. Iowa had promoted a program in which it would issue tax credits that paid half of a film's production costs. However, a state audit uncovered $26 million in credits that were improperly issued by the Department of Economic Development, and the program was halted in September of 2009. It's a probe that led to 7 convictions. Goodas is alleging breach of contract and is suing the department for unpaid tax credits plus interest and costs. He spent about $9 million and is owed about $4.5 million, said his attorney Angela Campbell of Des Moines, and that does not include lost profit. The state is represented by the Iowa Attorney General's office. Deputy Attorney General Jeffrey Thompson said Monday in a statement that he couldn't comment on the merits of the lawsuit. And love him or hate him, it's been quite a year for LeBron James. First, he led the Miami Heat to the NBA title. Then he led Team USA to gold at the Summer Olympics in London. Now LeBron can add one more achievement. Sports Illustrated is naming him the 2012 Sportsman of the Year. Previous winners of Sportsman of the Year include Muhammad Ali, Billie Jean King, Arthur Ashe, Michael Jordan, and Wayne Gretzky. James is one of just 6 professional basketball players to win the award. And it was a big night in football last night. New York Giants up against the Washington Redskins. The Redskins went in 5-6, looking for a win. Looking to win their 3rd straight. And the Giants had a little bit record going into this one at 7-4. The Giants led early, and then RG3 fakes the handoff and takes off running. He gets the first down and more. He's taken down, and the ball comes loose from his hands. But look how where's that?
Did
I not keep up?
Keep going. There's a Giants scoring. Trying to do a mini Lambeau leap.
There you go. Help me out, Lou.
But here comes RG3 again in the end zone, touchdown. Again, Washington goes on to win. Great score, ties the game there. Kick the extra point. Boom, they win. They kind of messed up last time they played. They should have won last time. They didn't. And I heard Morris on Sirius Radio on NFL Network saying it was our own fault. We had a great game, but our own fault. Too many turnovers. We're not going to let that happen this time, and they didn't. They tried coughing it up, and then they end up winning 17-16.
Wow, you know what? I'm going to pass that on to you because I just totally fumbled that right up.
No, you're okay.
Dan was like, hey, do you think you can have... I go, RG3, what is that? And I gave it a go, but yeah, I'll let you do the
Robert
sport.
Griffin
Yeah, I didn't keep up with that. I was trying to watch the video. Is that a fumble? Is that
No, it's okay.
There was some good stuff in there.
No, you
too.
had it. You did it fine. Well, we'll let you try one more time, and if you mess it up the next time,
all right.
then you're done.
Of course, people at home that take their sports very seriously are going to, not be real impressed with my sports delivery.
We got you covered. Don't worry about that.
Round the Car Guy coming up. He's talking antifreeze.
And Uncle Freeze.
Oh.
And if you don't pay attention to your antifreeze, what it could do to your car. It sounds like he brought some toys to look at, too.
Oh,
so
we like
we'll
toys
give you
around
some
here.
show and tell items when we come back. It is 6:43. This is a great day.
You're not supposed to do that. You know you're not allowed to. But you seem to get some kind of kick after doing what you're not allowed to. You deliberately defy the rules, 'cause the laws of hell that fool.
The Carl Chevrolet Red Tag event is your chance to save big and win a new Corvette this holiday season. Visit us today and choose from over 2,000 new and certified pre-owned vehicles, all sale tagged, and enter to win a brand new 2013 Grand Sport Corvette convertible. Stop by during normal showroom hours and enter to win during the Carl Chevrolet Red Tag giveaway.
Your dealer for life, Carl Chevrolet.
Tis the season at G&L Clothing, and right now you could save 25% on some great gift ideas like this cool Wrangler shirt, this Columbia jacket, or this warm winter hat. And don't be fooled by the sale ads at the other places. The regular prices at G&L are often as low or lower than those places. Come on in and see for yourself. And if you don't know what to buy, get a gift card. Buy a $50 card, get a $10 bonus card. At G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, open 7 days a week.
The #1 Christmas music artist in history, Pandora Unforgettable Moments, presents Mannheim Steamroller Christmas by Chip Davis. The Grammy Award-winning signature sound, where classical, modern-day rock, acoustic, and electronic music meets. Celebrate the spirit of the season with the Christmas music of Mannheim Steamroller, one of the most popular and best-selling acts in the last 30 years. December 21st and 22nd at the Civic Center of Greater Des Moines. Get reserved seats at civiccenter.org or by phone.
You never expect to be a victim of an accident, but they do happen. You never expect to file a lawsuit, but it may be necessary to pay for medical expenses, lost wages, rehabilitation, physical and emotional injuries. The team of legal professionals at LaMarca and Landry has the experience to help you get fair compensation from those responsible for your injuries. You don't pay a thing until a settlement is reached out of court or by a court of law. Should the need arise, call LaMarca and Landry. Visit youriowa.lawyers.com.
It was a sad day in the world of rock and roll. Just a little while, a couple of months after the death of John Bonham, the drummer of Led Zeppelin, the band got together and they said, Led Zeppelin, no longer going to be a group. These guys, the three remaining members of Led Zeppelin, on Letterman last night, and did an outstanding job. It was a very cool interview that they did. I did not realize that John Paul Jones was so funny. Jimmy Page was awesome. Robert Plant, which I thought was very stand-up of him, was cool enough that when they first came on, obviously Robert Plant's the main guy of Led Zeppelin. When they came on stage and they went to go sit down, he took the chair furthest away from Letterman so the other two guys would get more attention. I thought that was very cool of Robert Plant to do that. And we speculated that they were on Letterman last night. So they filmed that about, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon in New York. And Ron the Car Guy's here. Have you seen Robert Plant or Jimmy Page or John Paul Jones? Did they come in yet? Because we expect them to be here because we invited them.
In the hall.
I didn't see it. No, I didn't see him in the elevator, but there's 2 elevators. They might have been on the other one.
They could have been on the other elevator,
yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of cars in the parking lot. So.
No, I think they drive a Volt, so it might be because they like to save money on fuel.
Well, they'd park on the other side of the building then.
in because you can plug in. Yeah,
okay.
exactly. I'm on the non-volt
but
side.
If anybody sees them, because we expect them to show up.
Yeah.
We really do.
They'll probably be here any minute, or they might be out in the lobby now.
Okay, could be. But the important thing is people would probably tune in to see them if they showed up. But everybody tunes in to see Ron the Car Guy.
And you know what? I'm a good lead-in for them because you've got a big audience built, and then they would come in and stuff. And
that audience up. Some people might tune away a little bit. But now, before we talk about what we teased here a little bit ago, first and foremost, how's your employee? How's Jeff? Because we talked about it last week. He was involved in a pretty serious accident Thanksgiving weekend.
Jeff actually stopped into the shop yesterday. He was upright, mobile, walking. He's got a neck brace on. His daughter stopped by with him. They had been to a doctor visit and some physical therapy. Good. And we're hoping he'll come back in a couple of weeks.
Okay, we want to see him back here. We want to see him back talking to us.
Maybe we'll bring him in.
Okay.
All right.
Please do.
Yeah.
So that's good news.
He would have to follow like the Led Zeppelin guys and stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a pecking order here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's third in line then?
Probably. Yeah.
Ron the Car Guy, remaining members of Led Zeppelin, and then Jeff.
We've got it in order.
Okay.
Good.
Got it. All right. Now, what are we talking about? Because Jason said if we last 4 more days, we're going to have a record for the most number of days in Des Moines without snow.
Without measurable snow.
Wow. Yeah. Awesome.
So we might be able to do that, but you know it's coming. The snow is coming.
Did you say that this morning? Because, I caught the whole gravel jewelry thing going on earlier, but I guess I missed the weather forecast.
Now, I've never seen these before.
Well, these are parts we forgot to put back on someone's car, and I thought I'd see if anyone could identify them.
If these are yours, stop by today, right?
Yeah, if you're having a little slight overheating problem, that might be an indicator.
No, actually, this is a water pump. It's a term a lot of people have probably heard on an engine. But the reason I brought these in, I want to talk a little bit about as we get colder, we're all aware of the antifreeze or the coolant that's inside our cars. And the concern is when it gets colder, is there enough antifreeze? Is the mixture right? I don't want it to freeze when it gets cold, which is a primary function of antifreeze. But the thing that people forget or maybe aren't aware of is antifreeze has a second function, and that's to actually protect the cooling system, protect the water pump, protect the radiator, the heater core. It's got lubricants in it. It's got, rust inhibitors, corrosion inhibitors. And what happens to antifreeze when it gets old is it usually won't lose the freeze protection that we need in the wintertime, but it'll become acidic. It'll become like an acid, and it'll start eating away and damaging stuff inside the cooling system. And, and we've said this for years, but, do people really believe what Ron the Car Guy says? So I brought in an example, and this is a water pump that we removed from a vehicle last week, and this is a new water pump. And the water pump's supposed to have a little impeller on it, so as it spins, it circulates and moves or pumps the antifreeze through the engine.
Oh my goodness! I looked at it straight on, and right now I just realized what you're talking about. Oh my god, that is really eaten away.
Yeah.
Oh my! I just thought it was. I thought you were joking for a second. I didn't see it from the side.
No,
the fins are gone.
They're gone, and the antifreeze gets so acidic it starts to dissolve and eat away the metal inside the water pump. This is a new water pump, and you can see it's got the fins and a piece on the impeller to create like a paddle that pushes it through.
Yeah, so the paddle's pretty much
gone.
Here, sir, can you zoom in on this so you can see what we're talking about? Because I didn't even notice that at first.
Yeah,
but right here you can see a little ridge. There's a little ridge. I'll turn it sideways for you. Yeah, there we go, like this. There we go, like this. There's a little ridge that's on here that scoops the water. Think of your hand, scooping
like a paddle boat,
like scooping like a paddle boat. And they're gone. Look at this one's even cracked. This one here is even cracked. I didn't even notice that at first.
And I was talking to Stan out in the lobby earlier, and he looked at that and he goes, "Boy, is that uncommon." We don't see this every week or every month, but we'll see this 5 or 6 times a year where a water pump that's called the impeller is dissolved and gone.
Now, how long was that antifreeze in there, do you speculate?
This vehicle had just over 100,000 miles.
Wow.
And this didn't happen, like in 20 miles. I mean, this takes time. The other negative effect of this is all that metal that it dissolved had to go somewhere.
Oh, sure.
It was packed inside the heater core. So we had to remove the dash. The heater core was used as kind of a filter to filter this out. So we had to put a heater core in as well. And that leads to the the interval of changing your antifreeze or changing your coolant, and it's one of my, I guess, pet peeves against the industry, is manufacturers will say, this coolant doesn't need to be changed for 5 years or 150,000 miles, and yet this is the potential if that antifreeze starts to break down and become acidic. So sometimes I go against the grain of what manufacturers recommend for changing your coolant, and you can do one of two things. I mean, you can change it every 60,000 miles and just be safe,
okay.
Or you can actually test the antifreeze, not only the freeze protection, but you can test the acid level, which is what they refer to as the pH level, like you hear with a swimming pool or a hot tub.
And tell everybody how you do that.
They make a coolant test strip. You can buy it at auto parts stores or some places when you take your car in to have the oil changed. I mean, we always test the coolant every time with the pH strip.
Like people use for fish tanks or hot tubs.
Exactly,
or
exactly. They're different. They're made for antifreeze.
That, yeah.
But we test it to see if the system's acidic, because if the pH gets high and it's got a high acid level, then you know this is going on inside.
And the safest thing to do is just dump it and put fresh stuff in.
Well, and even more than dump it, that's one other thing is right there. There's a picture of a pH test strip. That's actually the brand that we use.
Okay.
Boy, you guys are very resourceful and quick.
Jason.
Give him the thumbs up there.
Jason knows his way around the internet.
The other thing to keep in mind is, you can pull the hose off, dump the antifreeze out, put new antifreeze in. But if you had anything going on where the metal was starting to shave off, I mean, the contaminants are still inside. And you'll see places will advertise like a $69 coolant flush or a $99 coolant flush. That's like taking the macaroni and cheese pan and rinsing it with cold water. It really doesn't get it clean.
Okay.
You got to use some soap and
scrub it.
Exactly. And you can't scrub the inside of your cooling system, but you can use a machine that will pulse it through there and stuff. So you're really better off in the long term, avoiding the
And what does that cost? That's bottom line. What does that cost?
$140 to $170. I mean, to do it right with the chemicals.
Every 60,000 miles.
Every 60,000 miles, and you're going to save a water pump. You're going to save a heater core. I mean, it's a couple $1,000.
I'd say that's a lot more for a water pump.
Oh yeah.
Not just for the water pump, for all
and
the work.
Heater core.
And the heater core.
Yeah, water pump, $300 to $500, but yeah.
Why do they always put the heater core in like the absolute worst place to service it? It's always.
It would be so easy, and they did this on a few cars back in the 80s, but it'd be so easy to maybe, give us an access plate with like 4 bolts on it or something. We could just take it off, slide the heater core in and out, But no, I guess they feel that we need experience in removing entire dashes on the car.
They always do that.
Yeah. Anyway, so people want more information on this. They can stop by Westside Auto Pros, of course. Make a pit stop in there. Tell everybody where you're at.
We are on 92nd Court. It's just off of Swanson Boulevard in Clive. Easiest way to find us, our website, westsideautopros.com. And click on the Find Us tab or the Locations tab. It'll show you how to get there.
Perfect. Get very informative here today. Every week he comes and just surprises us. Good job again, Ron.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
4 minutes before 7 o'clock. We'll be back. This is Great Day.
Stay. It seemed like a dream job.
A million girls would kill for this job.
Until her boss turned out to be a perfect nightmare.
Where are my eggs?
Excuse me.
Boogie boards. Go get Patricia.
Good girl. Good girl.
Meryl Streep, Anne Hathaway, The Devil Wears Prada.
Saturday at 2 on KCWI.
Do you want $1,000? I sure do. Go to our website and register for a chance to win Carry and Cash. We're giving away 2 $100 cash prizes every week. One person will win 4th row Carrie Underwood tickets and $500 cash, and the grand prize winner will get 4th row tickets and $1,000 cash. Register today at KCWI23.com. Carry and Cash giveaway brought to you by the Soy Foods Council and KCWI.
When I went home from the hospital, I knew I would need some professional help for the day-to-day things I could no longer do on my own. There were many options, but I'm so glad I chose Nurse Force. Whether I need them for a few hours or the whole day, I know I can count on them to not only get by, but to thrive. And best of all, I get to stay home.
Keeping you home where your heart is. Nurse Force.
It's that time of year when we gather with friends and family, and all of us here at KCWI want to wish you a warm and happy holiday season.
Good morning. It is 2 minutes before 7 o'clock. Welcome back to Great Day for this Tuesday. It is the 4th day of December, and time right now for totally serious rip and read headlines. Got teletype going in the background. You serious? You ready?
I'm serious.
How about this one? You ready to respect the power of mistletoe? Well, maybe you should. Mistletoe, not just for romantic evenings at Christmas time anymore.
Not just for a snooch?
No, not anymore. But according to a university study in Australia, they have found out that the extract from mistletoe, ready for this, is effective in fighting colon cancer. Wow. Very cool. They found that mistletoe treats cells infected with colon cancer just as effectively as chemotherapy without the horrible side effects.
Nature.
Is that amazing?
Nature.
They say more research has to be done, but it's very promising and should make you respect the power of mistletoe even more than just at Christmas time.
Sneak a kiss and then take a bite.
Is that amazing? Because mistletoe, the thing is, mistletoe is poison.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And that's apparently what works and helps kill the cells. So there you have it. So be nice to your mistletoe is what we're saying. Remember that homeless guy we were talking about last week? He was on the street. He had no shoes, and the cop was walking along and saw this, and he went out and bought him a pair of boots. Well, here's an update on this guy. Barefoot homeless guy in Times Square, 25-year-old cop named Lawrence DePrimo helped this 54-year-old homeless guy in Times Square. Jeffrey Hillman is the guy's name, and they gave him a pair of boots. Well, apparently, this guy didn't find this as heartwarming as everybody else did. He says he's grateful. He wishes there were more people like the police officer, but he said he's not wearing the boots. That's crazy.
They're too valuable.
Yep, he says he's not wearing the boots. He's still going shoeless. He says they're hidden. They're worth a lot of money. I could lose my life. And then here's the kicker. He said he feels exploited by the whole thing. Quote, I was put on YouTube and I was put on everything without permission. What do I get? This went around the world. I want a piece of the pie.
Oh, really?
Yep, that's the latest from the... Well, guy got some shoes.
I don't know.
From a cop.
No good deed goes unpunished.
No, apparently not.
Wow.
So how long do you wait for an elevator before you get a little PO'd? You sit there and
it's not long.
I don't.
Maybe I don't know. I guess I've never really.
A couple of times. Well, you've heard of the Otis Elevator Company?
Frustrated waiting for an elevator.
You heard of Otis Elevator Company?
Yeah.
Well, there's a mathematician at the Otis Elevator Company who figured out the answer is 20 seconds. 20 seconds is how long you will wait for an elevator before you start getting frustrated. You might start pacing a little bit, rolling your eyes, checking your phone, pounding the button to see if it'll come quicker, even though it won't do a darn thing. So the answer is 20 seconds waiting for an elevator before you...
We're not a patient society.
Get aggravated.
No, that's a shame. It's like, what's the rush all the time, you know?
So did you ever hear about the honeymoon period? People will say, they got their honeymoon period. It's their grace period. Well, apparently, the honeymoon period is a myth, according to another research study done in Australia. These guys are doing all kinds of research. They say the first year of marriage is actually the hardest of all the years you are wed. People
There's
reported,
probably a lot more mixed in with that person.
They say people reported the lowest levels of happiness in their first year of marriage, average of 74 on a scale.
Lowest level of happiness is the first year?
Yes, lowest level of happiness.
That's a shame.
74 on a 100 scale. They say it's about a 74
on a scale of 100. By year 2, it's up to about 78.4. And after 40 years, it's up to 80.
Oh, you're really getting into a groove by then.
By then, you might have it figured out.
Or you just don't care.
But anyway, they say people who were never married, their happiness scale is about 72.
Oh.
So married people are a little happier than those.
But not till 40 years later.
And speaking...
So I don't know what...
And speaking of being in a groove...
Now, I didn't know what this website was, and now that I know what it is, I never thought we'd show it on the air, but AVN is adult video news.
AVN, yeah, and the awards are...
Is that what we're resorting to now?
No, AVN, this is very popular. How many guys out there would marry a porn star was a question that was presented. And AVN is also the people that have the second largest convention in Las Vegas behind the Consumer Electronics Convention, which is the same week, I might add.
So you get all the nerds and all the porn stars are all there at the same time.
In the same week. Basically the same 8-day period is when they're out there. But according to AVN, they say a lot of guys would consider dating a porn star. 86% of men said they would date a porn star. 61% said they would marry a porn star.
They would or wouldn't?
Would.
Would?
Yes, thumbs up, amongst other things. They say 3 out of 5 guys be willing to spend the rest of their life.
I wonder, okay, what's the statistic on that honeymoon period the first year?
And do they really call it a honeymoon? They also found that 64% of people said, you know something, they kind of look up to those people that are in those movies. And
what?
They look up to them?
They look up to them because it gives them some different ideas. So there you have it. There's your totally serious rip and read headlines for this morning. But by the way, coming up here in just a little bit, totally serious rip and read headlines number 2. A Gallup poll talked about the most honest professions. And Congress didn't come in last. Believe it or not. We'll tell you who did and who number 1 is when we return.
Is that report also from the Adult Video Network?
No, this is Gallup poll.
Oh, okay.
Probably got meteorologists in there somewhere.
5 minutes past 7 o'clock. We'll be right back.
I heard stories about you. I like to think that they were true.
Fridays this December, get ready for a free-for-all.
You want to tell me what this thing is?
From side-splitting comedies to bone-chilling thrillers, the action is fierce and romance is red hot.
I've had it with guys like you.
This is the place to start your weekend with a bang. This December, Fridays are a free-for-all.
Fridays are a free-for-all on our sister station, KCWI Channel 19. From chillers to romance to comedies, you'll never know what you'll see Fridays on KCWI.
This December, this is the time for lovable characters and meaningful messages.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
From holiday favorites to new adventures.
You are amazing!
This is the place for animated fun.
I'd be delighted.
This December, bring back this holiday feeling.
Only on KCWI Channel 19. You don't want to miss this.
This is iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio.
iHeartRadio makes you want to move.
When you have a great melody,
A song can last forever.
Instantly connected.
I love it when the beat goes boom.
iHeartRadio is the way I get to you.
The biggest song, the biggest artist.
All in one place.
iHeartRadio.
I'll see you there.
This Tuesday.
I'm Blake. Nice to meet you.
Would you heal someone?
Approach him with caution. He raped 4 women. Choked the last one with a plastic bag and left her for dead.
Who doesn't deserve to live?
You don't get to just cure good people.
No personal details. Certainly not your names.
This guy's a rapist.
You took an oath to heal the sick.
You're scared of me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Emily.
My name. How does he know my name?
Emily Owens, MD.
Tonight at 8, brought to you by Plato's Closet.
We the People with Gloria Allred today at 1.
Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios, it's Great Day on KCWI TV.
Good morning, 8 minutes past 7 o'clock. Welcome back to Great Day. Is getting a band set up here. We love having music in the studio. Again, like yesterday, Michelle, we had a comic, not on the normal comedian day from the Funny Bone.
Where we learned bananas are always funny.
Always funny, and he was just passing through, and normally we have bands here on Thursdays, but we're going to have one today.
We're going to mix it up a little bit. You don't want to be too predictable each week.
Led Zeppelin may stop by.
Yeah, we're still waiting. You guys, band guys, you guys see Robert Plant or anybody downstairs? You can talk. You don't just shake your head. We can't hear you if you're shaking your head behind the cameras, you knucklehead.
We're afraid to make noise.
You hadn't seen them? No? Because Robert Plant, Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones on Letterman last night, we put the invitation up for them to stop by today. We did not hear no. We did not hear.
So there's always a chance.
So there's a chance. So we're going to wait and see whether or not they show. I think they will.
You would have a heart attack, would you not?
It's not Judas Priest. It's Led Zeppelin.
Oh, all right.
No, it would be awesome if they did. But anyway, weather forecast, Jason Parker, not looking bad.
Very nice day today. 60 degrees, your high temperature. Actually a little bit nicer than yesterday because it won't be as breezy, even though we tied our record all-time high temperature for December in Des Moines. 51 tomorrow, a late rain chance Thursday, and 44 Friday. Now, it gets a little iffier after that. Best guess right now has us with some early rain Saturday. And then on Sunday, rain late, changing over to snow Sunday night with some minor accumulations possible. Now, this is all very up in the air. A lot of disagreement among the long-term computer models regarding that. Traffic-wise, I haven't seen anything regarding any major troubles at this hour. The mobile speed camera today, and did you read? Windsor Heights, a town, there's no town in America more in love with radar than Windsor Heights.
Yeah.
They're going to get their own mobile speed cameras.
No, they got it?
Yeah, that sounds like that's happening. But 4200 block of Indianola Road is where the mobile speed camera will be today.
So Windsor Heights Vice is going to be firing up once again?
Yeah, they're going to get. Sounds like they're going to get a couple of them, but we'll find out more about that.
All right. We may have to do a special on that and follow the Windsor Heights Vice officers. It's 7:09. Time for Rip and Read headlines.
There's some royally big news out of Britain. The palace announced Prince William and his wife, Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, are expecting their first child after 19 months of marriage. The royal revelation came as Catherine was admitted to a central London hospital with acute morning sickness. She's expected to be there for several days, followed by a period of rest. William and Catherine were married on April 29, 2011, in London's biggest royal wedding in 3 decades. The baby would be the first grandchild for the heir to the British throne, Prince Charles and the late Diana, Princess of Wales. A due date has not been announced. A proposal by House Republicans to avoid the so-called fiscal cliff was quickly rejected by the White House. GOP leaders outlined their plan in a letter to President Obama on Monday. It would reportedly shave more than $2 trillion from the deficit over the next decade. The proposal includes cuts from programs like Medicare and proposed savings through tax reform. In a statement, White House officials said the plan isn't fair and balanced and sticks the middle class with the bill. President Obama has said any deal must raise taxes on the wealthy. Republicans object to any increase in taxes, and without a compromise, automatic tax hikes and spending cuts are scheduled to take effect January the 1st. A unit from Iran's Navy has captured a U.S. drone flying over the Persian Gulf, according to Iranian state media reports Tuesday. The drone, which was collecting data, was captured immediately after entering Iranian airspace. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps is cited as saying by the state-run news agency IRNA. However, a U.S. defense official, who could not be named because they were not authorized to speak to the media, told CNN that whatever the Iranians claim to have, it is not an actively operating U.S. Navy drone. The U.S. Navy has fully accounted for all unmanned air vehicles operating in the Middle East region. Our operations in the Gulf are confined to internationally recognized water and airspace, the source said. An article in today's Des Moines Register says the number of children in poverty has increased over the past decade in all of Iowa's 99 counties. It's a sobering statistic that members of a state public policy group linked to the national economic downturn. In 7 counties, more than 1 in 4 children in 2010 lived below the poverty level, set at $22,314 for a family of 4. The statewide child poverty rate sits at 16.2%. That's up from 10.8% in 2000, according to the annual Iowa Kids Count report released today. A Rhode Island man who financed movie projects here in Iowa filed a lawsuit in Polk County District Court on Monday, claiming the state of Iowa ruined his business and cost him millions of dollars when it ended its film tax credit program. Anthony Goodis of Providence, Rhode Island, said his company, Tax Credit Finance, borrowed money to finance 4 film projects based on contracts with the state. Iowa had promoted a program in which it would issue tax credits that paid half of a film's production costs. However, a state audit uncovered $26 million in credits that were improperly issued by the Department of Economic Development, and the program was halted in September of 2009, a probe that led to 7 convictions. Goodis is alleging breach of contract and is suing the department for unpaid tax credits plus interest and costs. He spent about $9 million and is owed about $4.5 million, said his attorney Angela Campbell of Des Moines, and that does not include lost profit. The state is represented by the Iowa Attorney General's office, and Deputy Attorney General Jeffrey Thompson said Monday in a statement that he couldn't comment on the merits of the lawsuit. And love him or hate him, it's been quite a year for LeBron James. First, he led the Miami Heat to the NBA title. Then he led Team USA to gold at the Summer Olympics in London. Now LeBron can add one more achievement. Sports Illustrated is naming him the 2012 Sportsman of the Year. Previous winners of Sportsman of the Year include Muhammad Ali, Billie Jean King, Arthur Ashe, Michael Jordan, and Wayne Gretzky. James is one of just 6 professional basketball players to win the award. And in sports, it was a big night last night. Football, New York Giants against the Washington Redskins. The Giants led early, and then RG3, he faked a handoff and takes off running.
Go RG3, go!
He gets the first down and more.
Knucklehead.
And then he's taken down, and the ball comes loose from his hands. But look how the ball bounced off his arm and into the arms of his teammate, Josh Morgan, who gets to the end zone for the 13-yard fumble return touchdown. What a play.
Giants scoring here, making it interesting. Of course, jumps up in the crowd.
Eli Manning, he fired a pass to Martellus Bennett for the 4-yard touchdown.
Then, finally, Giants back in the end zone.
Yeah.
Redskins back in the end zone.
Were you watching all this, Lou?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
We did a little better that time. And who won the game? The Redskins. By 1 point, 17-16.
Right.
Yes.
And RG3, knucklehead. I was wondering how come I lost points at the very end of the game. I just saw.
Or what, the fumble?
Yeah.
Oh,
you lose points when you do things like that.
He's amazing, though.
Mm-hmm. But again, he's just so incredible. And again, anybody has fantasy football, and if you have RG3, I believe with his performance last night, he's on top of the most points acquired by any player this year is RG3.
Wow.
So,
all right.
Good job.
Again, I am passing that on to you. Sports is not my thing. I don't even know what some of that stuff.
7:16. We'll be right back. This is Great Day.
we all work together to make sure the job gets done right, each and every time. We believe it's the little things that count. So from our family to your family, happy holidays!
Mid-American Energy is putting the power to achieve greater energy efficiency in our hands. Mid-American's website offers easy-to-use online tools and tips on saving energy. Simple things we can do today. Save some green with Mid-American to lower your energy bill now while preserving more energy for tomorrow. The power's in our hands with Mid-American Energy.
Remember the toys you used to play with? Then you have to stop by Iowa Die-Cast Toys. We have Iowa's largest selection with over 3,000 high-quality toys, most from Iowa companies like Ertl. We have toy tractors, implements, construction equipment, semis, cars, toy soldiers, Breyer horses, and Little Buster toys. Stop by today or visit us online. Find something for your child or really for you. Iowa Die-Cast Toys, just east of the Iowa State Fairgrounds on University.
Do you want $1,000? I sure do. Go to our website and register for a chance to win Carry and Cash. We're giving away 2 $100 cash prizes every week. One person will win 4th row Carrie Underwood tickets and $500 cash. And the grand prize winner will get 4th row tickets and $1,000 cash. Register today at KCWI23.com. Carry and Cash giveaway brought to you by Ellsworth Community College and KCWI.
Ah, 15 years ago, this was the big news. This was all over every newscast that you saw. NBA suspended Latrell Sprewell, then of the Golden State Warriors, for a year for choking and threatening to kill his coach, PJ Carlesimo. 3 days earlier, arbitrator later reduced the suspension. But again, this was all over the place. One after him, they showed video time and time again. But big news in the world of NBA 15 years ago. Cannot believe it has been that long ago.
Time flies.
Speaking of long ago, it was a long time ago, we had a big span with no snow. And Jason, you said we're getting ever so close to breaking that record.
March 4th was the last time it snowed in Des Moines. We had a total of 3/10 of an inch of snow in the whole month of March, which was 4 days this year. But so, yeah, it's been a long time. 274 days. If we get to 277, we'll tie the streak of days without measurable snow in Des Moines, and we'll probably do that. Today, certainly no snow. High temperature around 60 degrees. 51 tomorrow. There is a late rain chance on Thursday. Friday, a little bit cooler. Saturday, it looks like, now I want to say that the weekend and beyond gets really murky in this forecast. Not a lot of confidence, as there are a lot of differing opinions in the longer range computer model forecast. But anywho, as it looks now, a rain early Saturday, and then kind of a break, and then late Sunday, it looks like we'll see some rain. That could change to snow Sunday night. It won't be a lot, but snow. 29 degrees on Monday. I haven't seen anything in the way. We had a lot of traffic troubles yesterday. Nothing like that this morning. Mobile speed camera, that will be at the 4200 block of Indianola Road today.
And weather brought to you by Satellite City. Tired of paying outrageous amounts to watch TV? Hop into Satellite City, see how the Hopper and Joey from Dish will save you cha-ching. All right, time for Coca-Cola Atlantic Bottling to show everybody Jason's favorite part of the program. But today, the good news is today, we're going to talk about things happening in Hollywood, but only one real Hollywood-type star, a couple of musicians.
Oh, okay.
That are kind of cool.
Better.
So it's more weighted.
That's better.
Musician-wise, Shania Twain, she is included. Anne Hathaway, and music royalty finally honored on today's Hollywood Minute.
After an 8-year hiatus, country star Shania Twain is back on the stage belting it out for sold-out audiences. The singer launched her Shania Still the One show over the weekend at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas. The New York Times reports Twain made a return to the stage on a motorcycle suspended in the air. Her run in Vegas includes several dozen shows over the next 2 years. Anne Hathaway is on the interview circuit promoting her new film, Les Miserables. The actress underwent a dramatic physical transformation to take on the role of Fantine, including significant weight loss. But she says dieting wasn't the hardest part. She was most upset about cutting her hair before her wedding.
I hadn't realized it, that I was going to be a bride without hair. I did have a moment where I just went, no! But it actually, I liked what I wound up being much better, and I had, like, the way my veil was designed was very different because of it, and I loved the way it looked.
You can catch Hathaway on the big screen when Les Miserables releases later this month. Carole King is now among entertainment royalty. The music icon, famous for her 1971 album Tapestry, got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame Monday, honored for her decades of contributions to the music industry.
I'm so grateful for your loyalty all these years and for your appreciation of the work.
For Hollywood Minute, I'm Elizabeth Corridon.
Very deserving lady. I just told you guys while we're watching that story, we had a chance to meet her 4 years ago. She came through and visited. She was, again, one of these situations where we're going to stop by for 10 minutes. She stayed for an hour.
Wow. Because
she was that neat of a lady. But again, Carole King, congratulations on getting the stars. So, speaking of stars, coming up, we're going to be talking Christmas trees and how, if you want to see your Christmas tree on TV, you just might be able to do so. Show you some pretty cool Christmas trees people have up, and then how you can get your Christmas tree on this show. After these, this is Great Day.
Hi, I'm Corey. And I'm Jeremy with Satellite City, your local Dish authorized retailer. People ask us all the time, what's the difference between going through Satellite City and calling the 1-800 number to get Dish? I'm the difference. I'm the difference. We're the difference.
We're the difference.
The prices and packages are the same. The team behind your Dish service is the difference. So experience the difference and get Dish from Satellite City.
Satellite City.
Visit us in Ankeny, Urbandale, or our new store in West Des Moines.
Next, TMZ, the greatest celebrity story ever told.
Really?
Pretty much, plus a little oversell. But missing what this celeb says would be, well...
That's crazy.
Exactly. And trust us, he knows crazy. It's kind of his thing. Next, TMZ.
Tonight at 5:30 on KCWI.
Mike, I hear that you have some great news at Freedom Tire.
We have huge news at Freedom Tire. We have dropped the prices on all tires, all brands, all sizes.
Great time of year to get new tires. We're headed into winter, exactly when people are needing them.
People need tires, and we also need to save money for holidays. We thought it was the right time to do it for us and for the customer.
Are you still able to do financing with deals like this?
Absolutely. We can still offer 6 months interest-free financing and up to $160 rebate on select Goodyear tires.
Well, that's fantastic. And for more information, you can go to freedomtire.com.
And schedule your service while you're there.
This Tuesday.
I'm Blake. Nice to meet you.
Would you heal someone?
Approach him with caution. He raped 4 women. Choked the last one with a plastic bag and left her for dead.
Who doesn't deserve to live?
You don't get to just cure good people.
No personal details. Certainly not your names.
This guy's a rapist.
You took an oath to heal the sick.
You're scared of me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Emily.
My name. How does he know my name?
Emily Owens, MD.
Tonight at 8, brought to you by Plato's Closet.
Benny is innocent.
Benny's a vampire.
Thanks for not giving up on me, brother.
And Supernatural.
Brought to you by Plato's Closet.
Good morning. It is 7:26. Welcome back to Great Day. Ooh, that looks scary, kids.
Ooh, scary.
The clouds overhead. But no snow in them clouds, which is good news for everybody involved. So that is great. Hey, Max Wellman going to be performing for us here coming up in just a little bit, so we are looking forward to that. But we were talking stars and Hollywood stars. Now, how about the star on top of your Christmas tree, like the one you have right down below there, Michelle?
Mine's out of rusty wire.
Out of rusty wire. But we know Christmas is ever so close, and what we are going to do now is we're going to show you some Christmas trees here in just a couple seconds. But what we would like from you folks at home is pictures of your Christmas tree that we can show here. Okay, now the goal is to try to get 123 minimum Christmas trees to show
123.
123
okay.
To show on this program between now and Christmas. Hopefully we can get this done, but take a picture of your Christmas tree and then just send it to us. Go to our Facebook account or go to our website and send it to us, and then we'll get it, do the magic to it so we can show it on TV. But that'll be our goal. So if you're proud of your Christmas tree and you want to see your Christmas tree on TV,
or if you're doing something really different.
That'd be kind of
way
neat
of a
too,
Christmas tree. Because I know some people do some cool things by hanging on the wall, and it's kind of fun to just see what other people are doing. That's not just the traditional tree.
Yeah, but in this case, we have some that are a little unusual, and then some are very traditional today. But again, if you're doing something a little bit different, we'd love to see it. Okay, so just go to our Facebook page or go to our website and send us pictures of your trees, and we'll see how many we can collect.
Hanging them upside down, maybe.
There's a country that does that.
Yeah?
There's a country that does that.
There's a friend of ours who's putting her tree up, and she said she was going. It's one of those. It's an artificial one, and it has the branches that are all individual, and you stick them in the.
Sure.
And well, she was doing it reverse, where the smaller ones are on the bottom, and then up to the top.
Oh, there
you go. The larger ones at the top, and then you can really see all your. Yeah, but it gives it a whole. She saw it somewhere, I don't know, and so she was going to try it. So it makes just to kind of see how it all.
All right, so we're going to start off with Christmas trees, and here's what gave us this idea is a fraternity friend of mine, Tony, sent me a picture of his Christmas tree, and it was the perfect Christmas tree, and I could hear the conversation saying, "Go put the Christmas tree up, Tony." And he goes, "All right, here's your Christmas tree." So here's our
Charlie Brown tree.
Our buddy Tony's Christmas tree.
I love that.
Yeah. Is that awesome?
Yeah, that's very cool.
So there we have it. There is Tony's Christmas tree, and then we said, okay, if I'm going to show Tony's, I had to show one of ours. There's what we have up for Christmas. So
that's your Christmas spread right there.
And just by chance, we took a photo of it, and Cialis is on TV in the background. So we waited a couple seconds, then took the football game. Okay, just happened. Okay. All right. And here's one. Again, this is very cool. I believe this is in Slater. This is on the Main. Christmas on the Main from Sunday. Kyle Munson sent that over. And he thought we get a kick out of that. So that's kind of cool. The Christmas tree right in the middle of the street.
Yep.
So that's kind of neat.
Do you have to drive around it then? They leave it there?
Well, I think it's part of the celebration. Yeah, part of the celebration. So that's kind of a neat deal they had going on there. But here's some other trees in folks' homes.
Pretty.
Okay. That we were able to dig up. You know, all the little big ornaments on there.
Like that aqua.
There's the big old star at the top. Had to tilt it a little bit because it almost didn't fit.
Oh, wow. Look at the lights on that one.
That's nice.
Oh, that's pretty.
Again, send us pictures of your tree. That's what we're looking for. Send us pictures of your tree. We can show your tree.
Like something out of a magazine.
On the air here. There you go, homemade ornaments on that one, which is kind of cool. That looks like,
I like that.
That looks like the kind of tree that I would put up in my house.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Non-trimmed, there you go, just put it up. There's one almost like the one I have.
They went a little further. They've got some little houses,
little churches underneath there.
You need to step it up a little bit.
Yeah, that's another ceramic one. Another one at somebody's house, just fitting inside the doorway. Again, great Christmas trees here. Again, send us pictures.
These guys aren't obviously letting all of their kids decorate their trees for them.
No, a lot of more touch them afterwards. And how about this one here? This is the one
what is this?
This is the world's smallest Christmas tree. This is the world's smallest Christmas tree.
Is that a finger down in the bottom?
I believe
holding it?
That's my
your finger?
I'm holding it up. Yes, that's my finger.
Is that the top off of some grass or something?
What is that? Scale.
That's so you know exactly what it is. That is actually a ragweed pod.
Oh.
A piece of crabgrass.
Yep.
That's a piece of crabgrass.
Did you put that in a little vase in the house? And
I had a bunch of them a while back, but that is the world's smallest Christmas tree. But again, we are looking for your Christmas tree. So if you have a Christmas tree and you can send us a photo of it, we'd love to have it. Go to Facebook or go to our website and send it to us, and we'll start showing these between now and Christmas.
It's fun to see what everybody's
and a little different.
Out there.
You want to see something a little different?
I want to see some people that are doing it up different.
So please do so. And speaking of a little different, some people just go crazy when it comes to lights. And you saw all the computerized lights that have been for years. Well, wait till you see what the hit is now and the latest craze when it comes to computer animation and Christmas lights.
오빤 강남 스타일 강남 스타일 낮에는 따사로운 인간적인 여자 커피 한 잔에 여유를 아는 품격 있는 여자 밤이 오면 심장이 뜨거워지는 여자 그런 반전 있는 여자 너는 선호해 낮에는 너만큼 따사로운 그런 선호해 커피 식기도 전에 원샷 때리는 선호해 밤이 오면 심장이 터져버리는 선호해
time than I do.
Isn't that cool?
Get all that put together. Yeah, that's very cool.
So we have more of those. We'll end up showing you guys here in just a little bit, though. It's 7:33 right now. We'll be right back. This is Great Day.
It's hot, it's cool, in a booth or on a stool. It's the 5 and Diner, and quite the rage for kids of every age. They'll feel like a star, 'cause their food comes in a car. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, our menu's been a winner. Where the eats and treats just couldn't be finer, bringing your family to the 5 and Diner. It's spiffy, it's nifty, it's food fun and 50s. Makes you feel like a kid again.
My neighbor Pat is at it again. His car was running rough, and he said he could fix it himself. Wow. When will he ever learn? He needs to take it to Sargent's Garage. They will diagnose the problem and let you know up front what it will cost to fix it. Sargent's Garage can fix all makes, all models, and their work is always guaranteed. Don't do it yourself. Trust the experts at Sargent's Garage, 246-8149. Hey, Pat, do I need to call the fire department?
I used to be afraid of looking down, but it feels much better when safely on the ground. But lately I've been soaring so high above my street. Oh, make this true. That's how I feel for you.
Hit me, Pity. Need a boost to be your best? Drink SK Energy Shots.
That's just what I needed. I got the energy for you, 5-0. Your game.
New SK Energy Shots. Make the switch to a better source of energy today.
Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios, it's Great Day on KCWI TV.
Morning, 7:35. Welcome back to Great Day.
Boss just walked in. I need to hide the Baileys.
Oh, yeah. Just leave it out. Tell them it's decoration. Tell them it's
We can do that around here in the morning.
Oh, it's like Kathy Lee and Hoda. Everybody's doing it in the morning.
Just tell him it's decoration and it's for him.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay, he'll never check it. You know that. So.
That's true.
You got to use your more than just a hat.
That's why you're here.
Okay, just to help guide this ship off the rocks.
We've hit them a couple of times this morning already. It's 7:36 right now.
Cut me off on time already.
Yeah. Weather forecast for today looking like this.
Well, a nice day today. In fact, maybe not as warm as yesterday. We hit 69 degrees just before 1 p.m. yesterday, but
we
60
bumped it
degrees.
up a couple of degrees today. It looks like.
I know. We're always monitoring things, monitoring the situation. 60 today, less breezy than yesterday. So, man, for December 4th, a very nice Tuesday. 51 tomorrow. There is a late rain chance Thursday, and we're back into the 40s on Friday. Now, it gets a lot murkier after that. A lot of disagreement in the long-term forecast model starting with the weekend. At this point, it looks like some early rain on Saturday and kind of a break, and then late Sunday rain. Sunday night, maybe changing over to, believe it or not, some snow and a chillier Monday ahead. I haven't seen anything in the way of accidents or traffic slowdowns this morning. Mobile speed camera will be at the 4200 block of Indianola Road.
All right, stick around. Max Wellman and the gang performing in just a couple of minutes. We are looking forward to that. But right now at 7:37, time for Rip and Read headlines.
There's some royally big news out of Britain. The palace announced Prince William and his wife Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, are expecting their first child after 19 months of marriage. The royal revelation came as Catherine. You don't like this story? Why? You're not as excited as the rest of the world for this?
Tourist attractions.
Tourist attractions.
Well, that's what, I mean,
What, the kid or?
The whole
like make-believe, yeah.
shebang.
Yeah.
Well, the royal revelation came as Catherine was admitted to a central London hospital with acute morning sickness. She's expected to be there for several days, followed by a period of rest. William and Catherine were married on April 29, 2011, in London's biggest royal wedding in 3 decades. A due date has not been announced. A proposal by House Republicans to avoid the so-called fiscal cliff was quickly rejected by the White House. GOP leaders outlined their plan in a letter to President Obama on Monday. It would reportedly shave more than $2 trillion from the deficit over the next decade. The proposal includes cuts from programs like Medicare and proposed savings through tax reform. In a statement, White House officials said the plan isn't fair and balanced and sticks the middle class with the bill. President Obama has said any deal must raise taxes on the wealthy. Republicans object to any increase in taxes. Without a compromise, automatic tax hikes and spending cuts are scheduled to take effect January the 1st. A unit from Iran's Navy has captured a U.S. drone flying over the Persian Gulf, according to Iranian state media reports Tuesday. The drone, which was collecting data, was captured immediately after entering Iranian airspace. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps is cited as saying by the state-run news agency IRNA. However, a U.S. defense official, who could not be named because they were not authorized to speak to the media, told CNN that whatever the Iranians claim to have, it is not an actively operating U.S. Navy drone. The U.S. Navy has fully accounted for all unmanned air vehicles operating in the Middle East region. Our operations in the Gulf are confined to internationally recognized water and airspace, the source said. An article in today's Des Moines Register says the number of children in poverty has increased over the past decade in all of Iowa's 99 counties. It's a sobering statistic that members of a state public policy group link to the national economic downturn. In 7 counties, more than 1 in 4 children in 2010 lived below the poverty level, which is set at $22,314 for a family of 4. The statewide child poverty rate sits at 16.2%, which is up from 10.8% in 2000, according to the annual Iowa Kids Count report released today. A Rhode Island man who financed movie projects here in Iowa filed a lawsuit in Polk County District Court on Monday, claiming the state of Iowa ruined his business and cost him millions of dollars when it ended its film tax credit program. Anthony Goodis of Providence, Rhode Island, said his company, Tax Credit Finance, borrowed money to finance 4 film projects based on contracts with the state. Iowa had promoted a program in which it would issue tax credits that paid half of a film's production costs. However, a state audit uncovered $26 million in credits that were improperly issued by the Department of Economic Development, and the program was halted in September of 2009. It's a probe that led to 7 convictions. Goodis is alleging breach of contract and is suing the department for unpaid tax credits plus interest and costs. He spent about $9 million and is owed about $4.5 million, said his attorney Angela Campbell of Des Moines. And that does not include lost profit. The state is represented by the Iowa Attorney General's office, and Deputy Attorney General Jeffrey Thompson said Monday in a statement that he couldn't comment on the merits of the lawsuit. And love him or hate him, it's been quite a year for LeBron James. First, he led the Miami Heat to the NBA title. Then he led Team USA to gold at the Summer Olympics in London. Now LeBron can add one more achievement. Sports Illustrated is naming him the 2012 Sportsman of the Year. Previous winners of Sportsman of the Year include Muhammad Ali, Billie Jean King, Arthur Ashe, Michael Jordan, and Wayne Gretzky. James is one of just 6 professional basketball players to win the award.
You gotta like a guy who rides his bike to practice in games sometimes.
Yeah.
And this guy is a gajillionaire.
Gotta love that.
So, unless you're from Cleveland, and then you probably don't like him.
That is perfect. Yeah, and also in Monday Night Football, just briefly.
Come on, let's see how you do it, Lou.
Want to see if he does? There we go, RG3,
And
5 and 6 Redskins going against the Giants, 7 and 4. There's Eli.
Eli Manning.
Eli's coming, but no, there's RG3 running around the outside, tries to go for it. He's going to go and fumble. Not a good thing going on. Josh Morgan, thank God he was there. Josh Morgan takes the ball, runs it in. Touchdown, Redskins. I meant to do that.
Then here we go. Here's Manning. He says, well, we can do something, too. He finds Bennett in the end zone for the TD. A little mini Lambeau leap there. Then we come down 8-yard line. Let's see, RG3 going to find somebody. You betcha. He finds Pierre Garçon in the end zone. They take the lead. It is tied. No, they tie it right here. Then they take the lead with the extra points. They go on to win. Redskins 17, New York Giants 16. Redskins continue their dominant win.
That's news of sport.
Done, Lou.
4 in a row.
Done.
And the combination of RG3 and Morris, the running back, 25 fantasy points. Just so you know.
Yeah.
It is 7:43. Can't wait till we come back because Max Wellman and the gang.
Good energy in here this morning. I love it.
What are you guys doing here? You're too cool for this show.
On the next How I Met Your Mother, it's Marshall and Lily's big day, but there's one little problem.
We haven't eaten all day.
I had 4 strawberries.
Was there a side of champagne with each of those strawberries?
Yes.
You could have burped or said the word yes, but the fact that you did both is exactly why I married you.
Don't miss the next How I Met Your Mother.
Tonight at 5 on KCWI.
Time for a TMZ pop quiz. What do TMZ and Jennifer Aniston have in common? We both wish Brad Pitt would talk to us. Kidding! TMZ, we love Hollywood. We just have a funny way of showing it.
Weeknights at 5:30 on KCWI.
Stay. This Tuesday.
I'm Blake. Nice to meet you.
Would you heal someone?
Approach him with caution. He raped 4 women. Choked the last one with a plastic bag and left her for dead.
Who doesn't deserve to live?
You don't get to just cure good people.
No personal details. Certainly not your names.
This guy's a rapist.
You took an oath to heal the sick.
You're scared of me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Emily.
My name. How does he know my name?
Emily Owens, MD.
Tonight at 8, brought to you by Plato's Closet.
I've had different carpet cleaners, and I was always a little leery. My mind was at ease when I had Zero Res come out. They were neat, they were clean, they were professional, and they were very, very knowledgeable about the Zero Res product.
I made a promise to my family that I would start taking better care of myself.
You have many reasons to stay healthy. Exercise and physical activity can help. So the National Institute on Aging at NIH, part of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, created Go for Life.
I now exercise 3 times a week.
Featuring exercises you can do anywhere.
I can really go.
Find out more. Visit nia.nih.gov/Go for Life.
Max Wellman is here, and you guys have a concert coming up. You have a performance coming up. We're going to find out all about that in just a couple of seconds. First of all, thanks for being here, man. Thanks for coming over.
Oh, thanks for having us. I always appreciate it.
Now, you have something very special going on at the Des Moines Social Club.
Yeah, we do this show every year. This is the 3rd annual Home for the Holidays, and this year there will be several shows, and it opens up on this next Friday, the 7th, and goes through the 16th at the Des Moines Social Club.
Now, is it nonstop or just for the weekends?
The weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But there are 2 shows on the Fridays and Saturdays. There's an early and a late night show. So, plenty of opportunities to come and celebrate the season.
Now, if you've never heard this guy sing, you guys are going to be blown away. But he would be nothing if he didn't have his starting lineup behind him. And we want him to introduce your starting lineup, your players. First of all, if you saw The Voice last night, on the CeeLo back here. All right? Okay.
Yeah, we got Eric Krieger on the bass this morning, and Joel Getty's on the drums. My music director, the arranger for all these tunes, Dave Rezick, he's a genius, on the trumpet. Damani Phillips playing saxophone, and also Roland Hart on the Barry saxophone there. So, yeah. It's a great group, and we'll also have a guitarist with us for the show, but he's lost somewhere, so I'll say that we're saving him for the weekend.
Maybe he's with the remaining members of Led Zeppelin that we're expecting to be here any minute now, because they were on Letterman last night, and we're expecting them to show up here tonight, so or this afternoon. Okay, but anyway, you guys ready to perform? What are we going to hear?
This is our title song for this concert, I guess. This is Home for the Holidays.
Here you go, folks. Max Wellman, you're going to like this on Great Day.
Like home for the holiday, 'cause no matter how far away you roam, when you pine for the sunshine of a friendly gaze, for the holidays you can't beat home sweet home. I met a man who lived in Tennessee, and he was heading for Pennsylvania and some homemade pumpkin pie. From Pennsylvania, folks are heading down to Dixie's sunny shore. From Atlantic to Pacific, the traffic is terrific. Oh, there's no place like home for the holidays. 'Cause no matter how far away you roam, if you want to be happy in a million ways, for the holidays you can't beat home sweet home. For the holidays you can't beat home sweet home. For the holidays you can't beat home sweet home.
Absolutely outstanding. Max, thank you guys, man.
Thank you.
Again, if you want to see these guys perform, third year they're doing it. Tell everybody where you're going to be performing starting this Friday.
Yes. The Des Moines Social Club, which is located at the Kirkwood Hotel downtown. It'll be in the ballroom there. And it opens December 7th and runs through the 16th, and tickets are through Midwest Tix.
Okay, and what time do you guys get up and running on Friday night?
The early show is at 7 o'clock, and then we do a late show at 9:30, which is co-hosted by Chris Ford, who's a great singer-songwriter from here in Des Moines. So,
again, outstanding. If you guys are looking to get into the holiday spirit, this guy just might have the answer for you. Coming up again, third year in a row they have been performing this. But again, Max Wellman, thank you for being here.
Thanks,
and happy holidays to all you guys. Can you guys play us out into commercial here? Can you just riff on something for us? Thanks again, folks. Max Wellman performing starting this Friday, Des Moines Social Club. We'll be right back.
Bill Cunningham. He's not afraid to get real. Tackling real issues. Getting real results.
Let today be the first day of the rest of your life.
Weekdays at 3 on KCWI.
Jim Halpert. Not a hard worker. I can spend all day on a project, and he will finish the same project in a half an hour. So that should tell you something.
Characters that are just your type. 5 times a week on The Office.
Weeknights at 9 on KCWI.
Next American Dad.
Hello, Stan. Long time no partially see.
Oh, my God. Stan's long-lost dad drops in for a visit.
Do you have a boy crush on my grandfather?
No, of course not. Why, did he say something about me? American Dad.
Today at 4:30 on KCWI.
It's time for Break-A-Leg Trivia. How many actor puppeteers are needed to operate the main horse puppets in War Horse? 2, 3, or 4?
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
It'd be criminal to miss Cops, weekdays at noon on KCWI. And if you do something criminal, you could end up in jail.
Grandma got picked up by a police car coming home from your house on Christmas Eve.
And if she does, don't take a chance with the other guys. Call the pros who never close. Belmont Pros, 515-883-BELL. And remember, it's a jail thing.
The answer is B, 3. Actor puppeteers provide lifelike movements and sounds working as a team. There's a person acting as each the head, heart, and hind of these extraordinary puppets. See this theatrical event at the Civic Center December 11th through 16th. Visit civiccenter.org for details or to buy tickets.
You look like a nice girl.
Shag carpet like that, you can get rug burns.
Next baggage. Tonight at 11 on KCWI.
Shake that thing, miss. Can I shake that thing, miss? And I better shake that thing, yeah. Donna, Jody and Rebecca.
Good morning. It is 7:55. Welcome back to Great Day. God, those guys are good.
Yeah, we need live music in here every day.
If you missed Max Wellman and his cast of thousands, it was incredible. That guy, if you're not in the holiday spirit now, check it out. This is where they're going to be. Again, 7 o'clock is start time coming up on Friday, Des Moines Social Club. Go see this. This guy is very talented. His band is incredible. Watching the saxophone player is still amazing how those guys perform. That's what I used to play in high school, was the saxophone. And these people that know how to play it, I think it was what I was supposed to do. Didn't quite work out.
Yeah, that's what happens when you go to your lessons.
You think so? You have to show up for those?
That trumpet player, he actually went to his lessons.
But if you missed it, if you missed seeing Max Wellman, you can go to YouTube and watch the show.
I'm disappointed that they're not just playing the rest of the show.
We need to sit back.
I know.
We can go back into the side of the aquarium glass and watch them play. But
it's like a teaser.
Outstanding job.
I want to hear a little more.
But you guys know what it's time for right now. Right now it is time for Totally Serious Rip and Read headlines. So let's jump right into it, shall we?
Not me again.
How about this? This is kind of cool. Again, more research done. This time, a study out of Harvard have found out that you're trying to find out who's the most macho.
¿Quién es más macho?
Harvard study found out that black men are considered the most masculine
and the most macho.
Wow.
How about that? They say that if you look at everybody in general, it is followed by white dudes end up finishing in second place.
Oh, at least for second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so white dudes finish in second, but the most masculine.
You toughen it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And they say that that's pretty much the way it shook out. Now, when it comes to attractive women, they say Asian women were considered the most feminine and the most attractive to men, according to this Harvard study. This is a Harvard study, Michelle.
Okay.
So you know it's legit. Okay. Now, we're going to go from...
I trust everything you say over there.
No,
I know you've got credible sources.
We're going to go from a Harvard study to another study. They tried to find the Gallup poll. You've heard of the Gallup poll?
I have.
Gallup poll tried to find out which profession that Americans think is the most credible.
I was relieved because I looked at this list ahead of time.
Not porn star?
No, porn star didn't make it. The most honest professions, and Congress didn't come in last. That was the most surprising thing. They thought that Congress would come in last.
I'm thinking meteorologist isn't up there either.
It's not on the list.
No.
I didn't even make the list?
No.
Congress came in second to last.
Journalists are on the list. They're about in the middle.
And who else is in the middle of this there, Jason?
Bankers, chiropractors, psychiatrists, clergy. Which,
how about that?
You would think that'd be at the top, wouldn't you?
They're at the top for me, but senators are pretty low. Insurance people are pretty low. Stockbrokers low.
But the lowest of the low, according to this Gallup poll.
Aww. Car salespeople.
Ding, ding. Ring the bell for Michelle. Yeah, unfortunately, the bottom...
guys get a bad rap.
Bottom 10. Here are the bottom 10. According to the Gallup poll, this is not our poll, this is the Gallup poll, car salespeople, members of Congress, people in advertising...
Oh, well, that's their job.
Stockbrokers.
Job's to make up stuff.
HMO managers, senators, insurance salespeople, lawyers, state governors are on the list, and business executives are on the bottom end. The top-rated, most honest profession, 85% of the people surveyed.
I can't believe this.
Nurses.
I thought it was
Nurses rank above doctors. Pharmacists are second.
Yeah, pharmacists, doctors, engineers, dentists, police officers, college professors, members of clergy, psychiatrists, and chiropractors.
And what do you guys do, pharmacists? I know I have friends that are pharmacists. You guys just hand out pills. What do you...
You're dealing drugs.
Yeah, you're drug dealers.
And we know lots of those guys. There you go. All right, how about this? Yesterday, I don't know how we glossed over this, but yesterday was the 20th anniversary and birthday of the first text message.
20 years? People have been. I didn't think it'd been that long.
20 years of auto accidents.
Exactly. British engineer named Neil Papworth sent a message from his computer to his friend's cell phone, and the very first message, 2 words.
And they are?
Merry Christmas.
Oh.
Really?
Merry Christmas was the first text message. Today, the average person sends 678 text messages every month.
678
every month, and that's probably on the low end. Okay. Well, 19-year-old busted for bank robbery and car theft when they decided it was a good idea to brag about it.
Oops.
On YouTube. On YouTube. How many times do we have to show these stories before somebody figures this out? Well, apparently a Pontiac Grand Am was ripped off in York, Nebraska. Bank robbery in Waco, Nebraska also included on this, made off with $6,256, and the brain surgeon who did both of these decided, hey, I'm going to put myself on video and post it to YouTube.
Showing the money and everything?
Oh, yeah, here, look what I got. Look at my new car.
Oh, my gosh.
Busted. And could this possibly be the boss of the year? This possibly could be the boss of the year.
Is Ted out there?
I don't know, where's he at? He was looking at the monitor when the band was playing, when Max was playing. For the last 11 years, check this out. For the last 11 years, 52-year-old Chris Ninos has worked in an internet marketing company called BMI Elite in Florida. He's driven the same 15-year-old Ford with 99,000 miles on this. He's the hardest working guy at BMI, always the first one to work, last one to leave. He even calls in to check on his days off to make sure nothing's going wrong.
What an idiot.
So the CEO of the company, Branson Rosen, said, you know what, last Thursday, he says, hey, Chris, I'm having my car fixed. Any chance you can come pick me up? You know, during your lunch hour when you're not working, obviously. But during your lunch hour, can you come pick me up? And he goes, yeah, sure. No big deal, boss. So Chris drove over to pick up his boss, and when he got to the dealership, there was his boss with the keys of a brand new Ford Escape SUV.
Wow.
And handed his employee
cool is that?
the keys. And he even threw in 3 years of service, so the guy doesn't have to worry about maintaining his vehicle for 3 years. And that, folks, is our vote for the boss of the year.
Yeah, that's
great.
So really cool this time of year especially. It is 2 minutes past 8 o'clock. We'll be right back. This is Great Day.
Injury or loss of a loved one to a medical mistake changes lives forever. Do you know where to turn to get the help you need? The law firm of Slater & Norris is committed to helping individuals and families who have been affected by death or serious injury as a result of malpractice. With more than 40 years in practice, Slater & Norris can help. For a free consultation, call 888-529-0143. Slater & Norris will fight aggressively to ensure your settlement or verdict takes care of you and your family's needs now and in the future.
What's your style? Traditional? Contemporary? Urban? Transitional? Vintage reclaimed? Whatever your style, Homemakers has something for everyone. With Iowa's largest selection and lowest prices. Stop by today to see all of the fabulous finds in one of the largest showrooms in America. Homemakers, making your house a home since 1974.
Mid-American Energy is putting the power to use energy more efficiently in our hands, helping with the big things and pointing out the little things that add up to make a difference, like cleaning lint traps, changing furnace filters, and using smart power strips. With Mid-American, energy efficiency is always within reach. The power's in our hands. With Mid-American Energy.
Stay.
Get all your advice today at 3 with Bill Cunningham.
Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios, it's Great Day on KCWI TV.
Good morning, everyone. It is 5 minutes past 8 o'clock. Welcome to Great Day for this Tuesday. It is the 4th day of December. Yep, about 20 to go before the big guy shows up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the world's going to end, though. When's that?
Oh, it's coming up in about a week or so, a little more than a week and a half.
Yeah, I haven't bought any Christmas presents.
Well, you don't have to worry about it.
We're all going to die. So.
Yeah, see, just wait till afterwards. If there is.
Good morning, everybody.
Yeah, happy day. Happy day. I got an invite to the end of the world party, by the way.
Oh, that'll be a fun
party. You
want
to go with? Yeah, it might be the last big blowout, I'm sure. So you can go too, Michelle, if you want.
Anyway, wherever you two are going,
okay,
I'm there.
You're tagging along.
You're the crowd to follow. I can do that.
Well, the weather forecast, here's something to follow. You can follow along and realize that not too distant future, we could be breaking a record. Another one.
You know what I've learned before we get to the weather and watching all these bands is that it's great to be the singer. Because you just walk in and sing and you leave. And then there's the poor drummer who's here for like 15 minutes taking everything down. No one's helping him.
Yeah.
You know.
Got to pack everything in his bags.
Yeah.
He
Spin the camera
doesn't
around.
want anybody touching his stuff.
Yeah,
Would you accept help if they offered it? No?
No, see? So, Ringo, what's your name? Joel. Joel? Okay.
So, kids out there, if you're aspiring to be a musician, I think it'd be easier to be a singer.
Yeah.
Because you walk in.
Show up.
What's that?
But then you're the singer.
But then you're the singer.
Yeah, and then you miss out on having all that cool stuff to haul around and play with.
I guess guitar would be all right, too. Anywho, you can sing outside or whatever. There's a segue for you. 60 degrees today. It's going to be a nice one. Not as breezy as it was yesterday. 51 tomorrow. There is a late rain chance on Thursday. 44 Friday. Now, the weekend gets a lot murkier, and the weekend forecast is kind of a low confidence one. Right now, it looks like light rain early Saturday, and then kind of a break, and then late Sunday, some rain, changing over to snow Sunday night. At this point, it doesn't look like much snow, but, significant in that it would be our first snowfall. Chilly Monday, high temperature of only 29 degrees. And by the way, the mobile speed camera this morning will be at the 4200 block of Indianola Road.
All right, 7 minutes past 8 o'clock right now, and time for Rip and Read headlines.
There's some royally big news out of Britain. The palace announced Prince William and his wife, Catherine, the Duchess of Cambridge, are expecting their first child after 19 months of marriage. The royal revelation came as Catherine was admitted to a central London hospital with acute morning sickness. She's expected to be there for several days, followed by a period of rest. William and Catherine were married on April 29, 2011, in London's biggest royal wedding in 3 decades. A due date has not been announced. A proposal by House Republicans to avoid the so-called fiscal cliff was quickly rejected by the White House. GOP leaders outlined their plan in a letter to President Obama on Monday. It would reportedly shave more than $2 trillion from the deficit over the next decade. The proposal includes cuts from programs like Medicare and proposed savings through tax reform. In a statement, White House officials said the plan isn't fair and balanced and sticks the middle class with the bill. President Obama has said any deal must raise taxes on the wealthy, and Republicans object to any increase in taxes. Without a compromise, automatic tax hikes and spending cuts are scheduled to take effect January 1st. A unit from Iran's Navy has captured a U.S. drone flying over the Persian Gulf, according to Iranian state media reports on Tuesday. The drone, which was collecting data, was captured immediately after entering Iranian airspace. Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps is cited as saying by the state-run news agency IRNA.
That's not one of our drones.
However, a U.S. defense official, who could not be named because they were not authorized to speak to the media, told CNN that whatever the Iranians claim to have, it is not an actively operating U.S. Navy drone. The U.S. Navy has fully accounted for all unmanned air vehicles operating in the Middle East region. Our operations in the Gulf are confined to internationally recognized water and airspace, the source said.
I think you're right, Jason. That's a little too small.
No, I don't think so. Well, somebody today, I'm sure, will know what that is and come out with it.
Yeah,
I don't.
An article in today's Des Moines Register says the number of children in poverty has increased over the past decade in all of Iowa's 99 counties. It's a sobering statistic that members of a state public policy group link to the national economic downturn. In 7 counties, more than 1 in 4 children in 2010 lived below the poverty level, which is set at $22,314 for a family of 4. The statewide child poverty rate sits at 16.2%. That is too large a number, which is up from 10.8% in 2000, according to the annual Iowa Kids Count report released today. A Rhode Island man who financed movie projects here in Iowa filed a lawsuit in Polk County District Court on Monday, claiming the state of Iowa ruined his business and cost him millions of dollars when it ended its film tax credit program. Anthony Goodis of Providence, Rhode Island, said his company, Tax Credit Finance, borrowed money to finance 4 film projects based on contracts with the state. Iowa had promoted a program in which it would issue tax credits that paid half of a film's production costs. However, a state audit uncovered $26 million in credits that were improperly issued by the Department of Economic Development, and the program was halted in September 2009. It's a probe that led to 7 convictions. Goodis is alleging breach of contract and is suing the department for unpaid tax credits plus interest and costs. He spent about $9 million and is owed about $4.5 million, said his attorney Angela Campbell of Des Moines, and that does not include lost profit. The state is represented by the Iowa Attorney General's office, and Deputy Attorney General Jeffrey Thompson said Monday in a statement that he couldn't comment on the merits of the lawsuit. And love him or hate him, it's been quite a year for LeBron James. First, he led the Miami Heat to the NBA title. Then he led Team USA to gold at the Summer Olympics in London. Now LeBron can add one more achievement. Sports Illustrated is naming him the 2012 Sportsman of the Year. Previous winners of Sportsman of the Year include Muhammad Ali, Billie Jean King, Arthur Ashe, Michael Jordan, and Wayne Gretzky. James is one of just 6 professional basketball players to win the award. And big night in football last night.
Monday night. Here's Lou Seipel. 3. 5 and 6 Redskins going against the 7-4 Giants. Here you go, RG3. Run around the outside, trying to get the first down. He's got the first down. Trying to go for extra yards. Oops. There goes the ball. Josh Morgan, you got it? I got it. Don't worry, Bob. I got it. I'll take it in for the end zone. Yes, they do score, but not for long. They don't have the lead for long because here Eli's coming. Touchdown Giants. They end up taking the lead. That is until early in the fourth quarter. RG3 again, faking the handoff, throwing to Pierre Garçon in the end zone, 8-yard touchdown. Redskins offense would keep them in it to the very end. 17-16 final score. Redskins victorious on Monday Night Football, avenging an earlier loss to the New York Giants. There you have it.
Well done, Lou.
Sports on.
Way to have my back.
It is 8:13. We'll be right back. This is Great Day.
The Carl Chevrolet Red Tag event is your chance to save big and win a new Corvette this holiday season. Visit us today and choose from over 2,000 new and certified pre-owned vehicles, all sale tagged, and enter to win a brand new 2013 Grand Sport Corvette convertible. Stop by during normal showroom hours and enter to win during the Carl Chevrolet Red Tag giveaway.
Your dealer for life, Carl Chevrolet.
When I went home from the hospital, I knew I would need some professional help for the day-to-day things I could no longer do on my own. There were many options, but I'm so glad I chose Nurse Force. Whether I need them for a few hours or the whole day, I know I can count on them to not only get by, but to thrive. And best of all, I get to stay home.
Keeping you home where your heart is. Nurse Force.
I love Antiques, Iowa. It's so handy to get to right off I-35 in Story City.
And so big. Come on, let's go shopping.
Shop over 18,000 square feet and 240 booths at Antiques, Iowa. Rescue and repurpose great stuff for your home, cabin, man cave, or your backyard. At Antiques, Iowa, you can also find unique vintage and handcrafted jewelry that will complement your style and personality. Discover some unique treasures here at Antiques, Iowa. Open 10 to 7 daily. Stop in soon.
This Tuesday.
I'm Blake. Nice to meet you.
Would you heal someone?
Approach him with caution. He raped 4 women. Choked the last one with a plastic bag and left her for dead.
Who doesn't deserve to live?
You don't get to just cure good people.
No personal details. Certainly not your names. This guy's a rapist.
You took an oath to heal the sick.
You're scared of me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Emily.
My name? How does he know my name?
Emily Owens, MD.
Tonight at 8, brought to you by Plato's Closet.
Take each step one by one. Right on time, you will arrive. By keeping the dream.
Good show.
How about this? Back in 1991, I know we talked a lot about this. About 3.5 years earlier, Sammy was singing in Dallas, and he lost his voice at the concert, and he promised the people in Dallas, he goes, we'll come back, we'll do a free concert for you, my voice is shot, I'm sorry. And they end up showing back up in Dallas, and Van Halen honored their word and did a concert for free.
That's nice.
For people that were at the concert the first time and and Sammy's voice just wasn't good enough, so Sammy promised him, and Van Halen, as a group, promised him they'd have a free concert, and they made good on it. Back on this day in 1991. So that was very cool.
We had a lot of stuff up here, Lou. A lot of music
Most of it's dark and twisted.
Yeah, you can't even talk about it on TV.
I can tell you, a chicken is born with 4,000 eggs, and you rattle off all this music trivia, knowledge stuff.
Time out on this. What now? A chicken is
I'm just making a point that, the things I have in my head are completely different than the things you two have in your head.
With 4,000 eggs?
They have 4,000 eggs.
Margie from Dolls is over there.
And over their lifespan, they will lay about 2,000 of those eggs.
Yeah. I think she's full of.
I swear, look it up. Look it up there, internet man.
All right.
Look it up on the internet.
They're born. They have 4,000 eggs. And over their lifetime, they generally lay an average of 2,000 of those eggs.
Huh. And so how many dozen would that be?
That would be one. Oh my gosh, I'm good at math too, but not this time of the morning. I've been up since 3:25. My melon's not working too sharp.
Not a problem.
Let me get my pen.
No,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
You were probably. I think the reason you got up so early is that you wanted to find out who the Heisman Trophy finalists were.
Yes.
Because
I couldn't sleep because of that.
See that you probably nodded off before they announced them last night, or did you realize that Jim Boeheim reached another milestone? I didn't realize that.
Jim Boeheim did?
Yep, he sure did.
I didn't realize that.
College basketball extraordinaire.
I knew that.
Coach.
I knew that.
Okay.
I know who he is.
166 dozen, we were just told, by the way. Yeah.
Stan does something back there.
Dozen. That's how many eggs?
How many? 166?
166.
Stan's got his big Fisher-Price calculator back there.
That, and hey, let's see about RG3 and the gang from the Redskins taking on the Giants last night. Yes, Coca-Cola Atlantic Bottling wants you to check out all the sports headlines right now.
With Headline Sports, I'm Carlos Diaz. Monday Night Football, a clash between NFC East rivals, the Washington Redskins hosting the New York Giants. And it is the Redskins coming away with the hard-fought victory 17-16. Luck seemed to be on Washington's side when rookie quarterback Robert Griffin III fumbles in the first quarter, and wide receiver Joshua Morgan recovers the fumble and runs it in for the touchdown. RG3 also connected with Pierre Garçon in the fourth quarter for the Skins' go-ahead touchdown. Washington is now one game back behind New York in the battle for the NFC East. The college football news, the 2012 Heisman Trophy finalists were announced on Monday. Redshirt freshman Johnny Manziel, a.k.a. Johnny Football of Texas A&M, is reportedly the favorite for the award, and he would be the first freshman to win the Heisman. Notre Dame linebacker Manti Te'o is vying to be the first defense-only Heisman winner. By the way, Notre Dame is tied for first with Ohio State for the most Heisman winners at 7 apiece. And finally, Kansas State quarterback Colin Klein rounds out the group. He would be the first ever winner from Kansas State. In the NBA, the Los Angeles Clippers handled the Utah Jazz their first home loss of the season, 105-104. Blake Griffin puts up 30 points in the win for the Clips, and point guard Chris Paul chipped in with 14. It's the third straight win for L.A. and the first time the Jazz fans have watched their team lose at home since April. College basketball, where Syracuse's legendary coach Jim Boeheim reached another milestone in his career, coaching his 1,200th career game as the Orange beat Eastern Michigan 84-58. Michael Carter-Williams led the way for Syracuse with a double-double, 11 points, 11 assists. Fourth-ranked Syracuse remains unbeaten and has won its last 26 games on its home court. With Headline Sports, I'm Carlos Diaz.
Better job. That guy's good.
All right, so next time
I know his sports.
Okay, next time about 8 o'clock, we get ready for sports and say, you'll hear sports next from CNN. Okay, a little bit better
Gotta
than
leave
that
to the professionals.
All right, speaking of professionals, Margie is here from Dolls, and she has, looks like, craft time getting set up there again. So guess who's going over?
I'm excited. She has jars over there. I use jars for everything.
We'll
so
find
I'm excited to see what she's going to
what's
fill
up
in with.
Margie's sleeve next on Great Day.
Hi, I'm Corey. And I'm Jeremy with Satellite City, your local Dish authorized retailer. People ask us all the time, what's the difference between going through Satellite City and calling the 1-800 number to get Dish? I'm the difference. I'm the difference. We're the difference.
We're the difference.
The prices and packages are the same. The team behind your Dish service is the difference. So experience the difference and get Dish from Satellite City.
Satellite City.
Visit us in Ankeny, Urbandale, or our new store in West Des Moines. Coming up on the King of Queens.
I have a huge surprise for you.
Carrie gives Doug what he's always wanted.
I love you.
And life is good until her dad finds himself homeless.
He can live here. It's okay.
Catch the laughs on the King of Queens.
Tonight at 10:30.
If you have suffered personal injury in an automobile accident from someone else's negligence, the legal firm of Lamarca & Landry may help you receive compensation. Insurance may not cover your medical expenses. Before you settle any insurance payment, know your rights. Not knowing your rights can result in reduced benefits or, even worse, losing certain benefits. Lamarca & Landry can advise you on the issues arising from an automotive accident. Visit youriowalawyers.com. It won't cost a thing to find out what your rights are, but it could cost you a lot if you don't. Lamarca & Landry, youriowalawyers.com.
I'm Great Day meteorologist Jason Parkin. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on KCWI 23, I give you traffic and weather updates to help get you informed before you head out to work or school. I also keep you informed the rest of the day on a website dedicated to local weather information for the Des Moines metro area. DSMweather.com features local radar, severe weather, and forecast information. You can also find climate data and the latest on traffic and airport arrivals and departures. Find it all at DSMweather.com.
It's always a great day to watch KCWI. With comedies, dramas, and real entertainment, we've got you covered. KCWI is your station for great entertainment.
Good morning. It's 8:23. Welcome back to Great Day. And I'm just admiring something I got in the mail here a couple of days ago. My Ways to Save card. Margie, I got My Ways to Save card in the mail from Dolls. Right. I filled this out while you had your segment going on just a couple of weeks ago, but now time to bounce over to Jason, Michelle, Margie, and Mason, as in jars. And see what they have
Jason,
in mind.
Mason.
Where would that fourth person be hiding? I wasn't
right
quite
in front of Michelle.
There's Mason. I love these things. I use them for everything. Drinking glasses, their storage, leftovers, candy. It's good stuff.
Well, and we're carrying the theme forward from last week. We did gifts, buying things in dolls, putting them together as great gifts, last-minute gifts. This, again, you can buy absolutely everything, including Mason, in the store.
Hi, Mason.
And you get 12 Masons per box.
Yes, you do. But this is a little bit more handmade gift, as well as extremely more economical. I made 3 different options of cookies in a jar. Have you heard of this, Jason?
I have.
Well, not to insult anyone.
Well, because it's cookie related.
Okay.
I've heard of it.
Not to insult anyone's intelligence, but if you haven't been given one of these or haven't seen them, the idea is that you put all the dry mixes in the jar, and then on the jar you either attach the instructions and or the entire recipe, and it's kind of like a cookie mix that all they have to do is add the wet ingredients and cook it. So it's a nice gift to give out, but I made this one right here, and I will take the ribbon off in a minute to show you, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea. Michelle could decorate these much better than I.
There's some brownies over there. Finished cookies aren't sitting
But this is one way to finish them off. You could also attach some spoons, some mixing spoons, a wooden spoon. Here are 2 other options of jars that were also available at Dolls. $9.99, $5.99. But I made this one, and it has nuts in it, which adds to the cost for $4.50.
Oh, still.
Including the jar. You take the nuts out, we're now down to $2.68.
Wow.
So they're very economical to make and to give as gifts, and certainly nice. I did 3 different kinds just to show you. This one has cranberries in it to kind of give us that nice Christmas flair. You got to have brownies So we did brownies in a jar, and I made those because there were a lot of alterations that I found, and so I wanted to make sure they were edible. And you can be the judge of that, Jason, whether they're edible or not. I'm sure they will be. And then this last one is a family favorite of ours that I actually just took a recipe that I have. It's from 2 Chicks from the Sticks, which I got this at the Iowa State Fair. These are 2 Iowa cooks. So I took their recipe for monster cookie bars, cut the ingredients in half so that it would fit in the jar, and then just altered the instructions a little bit so that it will work in the jar. And all 3 of these will be available on your website today, as well as Doll's Foods under Edna's Kitchen.
Given the book, a recipe book with your jars too would be a nice touch.
There you go. And wouldn't add a lot of cost either.
Right. If you wanted to make it a little more.
Lots of ideas. And like I said, I just use present tags, but you could certainly pick up a pack of index cards and the hole punch at Doll's. Again, this is just about $1.89. This was 70 cents. So
it's a nice way to say,
economical.
Hey, you're terrible at baking. Let me help you.
No, it's not.
It's a nice way of saying we all need
Only a guy would think that. Oh my gosh.
I was thinking the same thing, Jason.
It's a
I'm
nice
just
way
I'd love to get that.
of giving
That's really
sharing a family recipe.
Giving the Christmas cookies, but you know they may have their own Christmas cookies, so you can make them later. And that brings me to a good point. These are good for 6 months in the jar. Even though we've got our baking soda and baking baking powder, in there, they're good for 6 months. If you have nuts, 3 months. So that might be something you want to put on your card is the expiration date.
Okay.
So, of course, you need to check your expiration dates of your products when you're making them, too. But
of what you're putting in the jar.
What you're putting in the jar.
3 months, I think.
So,
is there a good rule of thumb as far as what should go first and how to layer things?
You want to alternate your textures and your colors as much as you can, but you have to kind of think it through. Obviously, granulated sugar is going to seep through oatmeal. Here's a good one as an example. So you need to pack things down, not only so they will fit, but so that they don't seep into the next layer, or you'll kind of have a mess. But oatmeal, and then I've got brown sugar here because we always pack our brown sugar when you're measuring it, so that provides a nice solid surface level. Then I've got my granulated sugar with my baking soda in it, then my M&Ms, then my chocolate chips. I chose to use the little chocolate chips just because they were on sale. I picked best choice whenever I could. Again, makes it very economical. So let's have you do it. Now, Jason, you can either use, this is my tool, which is kind of
on.
My gloves.
Giving this to somebody.
A pastry roller. But you can use whatever you want to pack it down. Jason's going to put gloves on so he can use his fingers, the good old-fashioned way. You could use your wooden spoon just to pack it down.
That desk is
Do most recipes fit into a quart jar?
Another good point. Anywhere from 3.5 to a little bit over 4 cups, which is why I cut my recipe in half. I knew it would layer nicely, but to make it fit, any dry ingredients recipe that has a cumulative of 3.5 to a little over 4 cups will fit. I packed these down, but I did not have to make sure I packed them really hard. I have a little bit of room in each one. And you don't want too much room because you don't want them to mix, but yet you want that sand art.
And it's like sand art.
Yeah, sand art, exactly.
Yeah, it looks like soil.
Same thing. All right, Jason. Okay,
Let's see how you do here, sir.
We're going to go with the oatmeal.
That's a lot of oatmeal.
It is. That's about 2 1/4 cups if I remember correctly. If you take a clean piece of copy paper, this can be your funnel system.
Okay.
And then you don't spill it all over the counter.
Well done.
Since I can't see what he's doing, he can't see what I'm doing, we're doing pretty good.
We're a good team.
All right.
That's a lot of oatmeal.
So you can tap it down, shove it around, and now just get your fingers in there and put it down.
I might need your tool there.
Well, and feel free to use
got big
that.
hands.
My hand's kind of big, yeah.
See, I would use the end of a broomstick myself.
That'll work.
One thing I do want to caution you, it makes absolutely no difference on this one. But as you can see when he got done, he's got different levels. You want it to be as straight as you can.
Oh, yeah.
So you need to go around the edges and move that out.
Okay.
And again, when you start, it doesn't matter where you start. But to finish, you don't want to finish in the middle because it makes sense. It pushes it all up around the side. So just kind of think it through as you're doing it.
Now, when somebody's pouring out the recipe to make it, do you need to separate things as you pour it out? Or is it generally, do you have recipes where you can just dump all the dry ingredients and mix it with the wet? Or
No. So when you mix these, absolutely correct. You mix up your wet ingredients, and that's what your instructions will tell you. And then you dump this in a bowl, mix it up, and then you add the two together.
So you don't have to worry about how you're shaking them out of the jar or anything like that.
All.
Nice.
Not at all. These are dump and pour, just like a mix. All right. Next step is the brown sugar. Now this is already packed, so I'll let you get it in there in case you do need to use your hands.
Wow,
there you go. It'll pop right out of there.
Well,
you do a lot of baking at your house, don't you?
All right. Now you got to be careful that you don't push the oatmeal up around the edges.
Right. Okay. You got to keep them separated.
Right, and then you kind of watch your lines as you go around the edge. This will be the hardest part because this is the firmest structure that we'll have.
I have skills.
Base. You are good. He knows there's a brownie at the end for him, so that's what's keeping him going.
Rewards. All right.
Pretty good. Okay, and next we'll go with the sugar with the baking powder in it.
And that's easy.
Here, do you want me to use this, or can you get?
Yeah, we might want to use that.
Just to be sure.
Because it's kind of. It's a little wide.
Again, I can't see it. There we go.
All right. And the baking powder's already in this.
Baking powder's already in it, and as long as it's not expired, you've got 6 months that'll be good in here.
Probably a shaker. There we go.
See? You don't even have to do a lot of piling. All right. Here's the M&Ms. I'll be your cone.
And I can't eat them.
You can't eat them. You're cooking.
Man.
Keep your fingers out of the mix.
Oh, man.
All right. Smooth those
That's why
around
I'm not allowed
a
in
little
the
bit.
kitchen.
And now your chocolate chips.
Oh, man. Chocolate chips.
You okay over there, Jason?
It's all just passing me by. It's so sad.
There's a bottle of wine over there, too.
Yeah.
Just, put you over the edge.
Margie always brings wine. I like that. All right.
Not just for breakfast.
Well done.
And Michelle could probably finish it up, but you know what? I promised you.
I think
so
this looks
go.
beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Now these are
I got a brownie.
Brownies in a jar, monster cookie bars in a jar, and these are cranberry with vanilla, chocolate, and walnut.
And you have all these recipes available on the
both
website.
websites.
Wonderful.
Yes. So give your neighbors a gift.
And everything. You got everything you needed.
Everything
One
I
stop
needed
at
at Dolls. And as I said, about $2 a piece to make, including the jar. Unless you
Great
want
hostess
to be more
gifts.
festive.
Office, you know.
Yeah,
You
really
should
good
make
idea.
one for everybody in the office.
Teachers,
Be a nice
piano
little...
teachers, you know, the people that you want to give something to, but they do add up in a hurry with all of your kids' activities.
My piano
and things,
teacher was
so.
mean. She's not getting cookies.
You're getting a dozen gifts for about $24.
There you go.
Nice.
See, the math is working
It is.
today.
Well, you know, don't get me into triple digits.
Okay, and how many eggs? How many dozen eggs come out of a chicken, Michelle?
That would be 166.
That's a lot. You learned something here today.
I did. Divided it out for
All
me.
right, so cookies in the jar. Give the gift of giving.
I
love it.
All
There
right.
you go.
Did you learn a little something?
I did learn a little something. That was a lot of fun.
And you can take this home, and the instructions are on the internet, and you can make that with your kids tonight.
All right.
Okay?
Well, we've got totally serious news coming up. I'm going to eat a brownie. Stay with us. Great day continues.
Thanks.
You'll find a great selection of musical gifts and low prices here at Riemann Music.
We got the beat! Yeah!
Riemann Music, making your world sound better.
Each year, nearly 1 million adults have knees and hips replaced. Sadly, over half of these could have been prevented.
Hi, I'm Dr. Gupta with the ANP Foot and Ankle Clinic. Many inherited conditions affect a child's balance and cause abnormal wear on the joints and lead to many painful problems in the future. With one examination at the ANP Foot and Ankle Clinic, I can tell you if your child has a foot problem and what can be done to control and fix the problem, many times without surgery. Every child over age of 6 needs to have this examination. Call ANP Foot and Ankle Clinic for your consultation.
Here's reason number 14 to get a new furnace with a lifetime guarantee from Service Legends.
Can your furnace make it through another Iowa winter, churning and burning and chugging to keep up? Well, what if I told you that you could get a brand new furnace with a lifetime warranty for only $79 a month? Get true peace of mind with a brand new high-efficiency furnace with a lifetime guarantee from Service Legends, as affordable as can be at $79 a month. Call 515-COMFORT for the home comfort heroes from Service Legends.
Save up to 80% on Mattress Outlet USA's year-end floor model clearance event. That's right, up to 80% off. Check out this luxury queen set, originally priced at $2,600, now only $499, including a free bed frame and free delivery. Hurry into either Mattress Outlet USA location, because at prices like this, these beds are sure to move fast. Save up to 80% off today.
Save the night to high prices. Mattress Outlet USA.
Good morning. It is 8:36. Though Margie just offered me a brownie. I would love to, Margie. She's behind the camera right now, but unfortunately, I'm allergic to chocolate, so I can't eat.
You are?
Serious? Yes. Yeah.
How did I not know that?
I don't know. Yes, I'm allergic to chocolate, so we can't.
That's a bummer.
So if you guys ever want to have anything and don't have me hog it, put some chocolate in it, and then your guys are good to go.
Good to know.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
chocolate's actually very good for you.
that's what I heard. The darker the better.
Stuff. That's right.
Darker the better.
Mm-hmm.
It is 8:37 right now, and weather forecast, Jason Parkin.
Yeah, we can do that. We should touch on that. It's going to be a nice day today. In fact, it won't be as warm as yesterday, but probably nicer outside, not as breezy. 60 degrees, 51 on Wednesday, and a slight rain chance late Thursday, 44 Friday. Now, after Friday, this gets more uncertain. Right now, it appears as if we'll see some rain early Saturday, then a break, then rain late Sunday. That will change to snow Sunday night. Looks like light snow. Will be a chillier Monday ahead. High temperature around 29 degrees.
All right, totally serious news coming up here in just a couple of minutes. But earlier we were talking about the fact that Jersey Shore is off the air. This Honey Boo Boo.
I'm devastated by
Honey
that.
Boo Boo child is going to have her specials coming up here starting in about a week. You'll be able to see the Honey Boo Boo holiday special starting to air its ugly head or raise its ugly head. But now it looks like there's another TV show that's starting to cause a lot of controversy involving some backwoods people in West Virginia that's apparently going to be plugged into the place where Jersey Shore was on MTV. It is really a bizarre show. It is called Buck Wild, and Jeannie Mose took a look at this show.
It's as if they crossed Honey Boo Boo.
Our cat is possessed.
With Jersey Shore.
10 as hot as craziest Guidos.
We've got the whitest, craziest hillbillies.
Our motto around here is whatever happens, happens.
What happens is fighting, licking, rolling down a hill in a tractor tire. With its run ending, MTV needed a replacement for it. But I'm going to Sissonville, West Virginia. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it. Better to name the new show
Buck Wild.
The new reality series starts January 3rd in the time slot now occupied by Jersey Shore. Buck Wild features 9 young adults, as MTV puts it, a whole new hell-raising group of friends for you to fall in love with. Jersey Shore sand. Make way for West Virginia mud. But West Virginians are worried their reputation will be mud.
I think it's just going to make us look kind of trashy, like ridiculous.
Posted one critic, I am so humiliated. As a native of Sissonville, West Virginia, where they are filming this train wreck, I am just devastated that my hometown is going to be slandered by this show. Never have I ever done any of those things, especially swim in a dump truck.
Y'all want to swim in pool?
MTV wouldn't comment on the criticism. The West Virginia Film Office twice tried to discourage the show's producers by rejecting their requests for state tax credits. But the show barreled on.
One way in, one way out. Don't know where you're at, stay the down.
The bleep was the only part of that I understood. This show needs subtitles, suggested one poster, but it may be more civilized if you don't know what they're saying.
You guys in my bed. How disrespectful is that?
Sorry. It's either a barrel of laughs or the bottom of the barrel. Jeannie Mose, CNN.
Y'all want to swim in pool?
New York.
Wow.
I love the idea of swimming in the back of a dump truck.
Of course you do.
I think that was the only good thing from the whole show. Yeah.
Do you think, are they offended by being called hillbillies, or is that a term to be, a
term of endearment?
Yeah.
I don't know. It depends on how you look at it.
I think they don't care,
how you look
probably.
at it. Yeah, but the swimming in the back of a dump truck. Jim Hawk Trucking.
Brilliant idea.
Rick Clark Trucking. You guys have any dump trucks? When it starts getting warm, we're going to swim in the back of a dump truck.
I see the next Great Day promotion.
That'll be a promotion. Yes. The mobile swimming pool.
I like it.
It'd be kind of cool.
Lou could show up in your backyard. You can have a neighborhood block party. Lou brings the pool.
Have pool will travel. It is 8:41. Totally serious rip and read
Margie
headlines.
Can bring the barbecue.
Coming up next.
Year in and year out, we all work together to make sure the job gets done right, each and every time. We believe it's the little things that count. So from our family to your family, happy holidays!
A remarkable tale of courage, loyalty, and friendship. War Horse. Winner of 5 Tony Awards. Theatrical magic, says the New York Times. Moving and unforgettable. Time magazine calls it a landmark theater event. Live on stage, War Horse.
Coming to the Civic Center December 11th through the 16th. Visit civiccenter.org for tickets.
CenturyLink high-speed internet is $19.95 a month for 5 years.
Really?
Really. It won't change for 5 years. There's no term commitment either. Can cable offer that?
5 years? I like that.
Call now and get up to 12 meg consistently fast CenturyLink high-speed internet for just $19.95 a month for 5 years when you bundle with unlimited nationwide calling. Guaranteed. No term commitment. So lock in your price with CenturyLink today.
He knows when you've been working. He knows your muscles ache. He knows when you need Carhartts. So be good for Santa's sake. Even Santa shops G&L clothing for quality, selection, and value. Winterize the whole family with tough, long-wearing Carhartt clothing, coats, shoes, and boots. Or give a G&L clothing gift card for any amount this Christmas. Santa knows, and it shows.
G&L clothing. Your size, your style, we've got it all.
Live from the Carl Chevrolet Studios, it's Great Day on KCWI TV.
Good morning, it's 8:43. Welcome back to Great Day. Let's dive right into it, shall we? It's time for Totally Serious Rip and Read headlines. First headline involves mistletoe. Not just for Christmas anymore. Yes, mistletoe is not just for your romantic life at Christmas time.
Romantic life.
Mm-hmm.
It's based on plants.
It is now good for something else. Study out of Australia, extract from mistletoe. They found extremely effective and, ready for this, fighting colon cancer. That is very cool. They found that using that ingredient from the mistletoe treats infected cells of colon cancer just as effectively as chemotherapy without the horrible side effects.
Wow.
So that would be very interesting if this does. And the results are promising, and they're continuing to do the research. But again, the power of mistletoe, even more than just
Power of nature.
at Christmas time. Now, remember the guy we were talking about a while ago, the homeless guy who didn't have any shoes? And so there was a cop that bought him some boots.
Yes,
and about $100 worth of boots, and gave him the boots. Well, great story involving this guy, a New York man by the name of Lawrence DePrimo, helping out a 54-year-old homeless guy in Times Square by the name of Jeffrey Hillman. 36-degree weather. Well, apparently this got all kinds of attention on the New York Police Department Facebook account. 600,000 likes on the photo. That's a lot of likes.
Yeah.
Well, here is the twist. The guy's not wearing his boots.
He's not putting them on.
Because he's afraid someone's going to steal them.
He's afraid somebody's going to steal them. Exactly. He said it's dangerous.
That's so sad.
Dangerous to wear them. They're worth a lot of money. He said he's worried for his life. Secondly, he said he feels exploited by the whole thing. He said, quote, I was put on YouTube. I was put on everything without my permission. What do I get? This went around the world. I want a piece of the pie.
Well, what pie is
pie?
it? No one made any money off of it.
He doesn't want free boots, so... But if he has a lot of money in his pocket, he'll really be in danger.
He wants a piece of the action of some sort. So.
The cop did it anonymously. It just so happened that someone took a picture of him.
A tourist, wasn't it? Yeah, a tourist saw him doing it. So, another thing, how many people get really bent out of shape when you're waiting for an elevator? How long will you wait for an elevator before you start getting upset? Otis Elevator Company had a mathematician who worked for him, and they watched for a while, and they found out the waiting period before you start getting frustrated, 20 seconds.
How much money do they spend on these studies? I'm just curious.
Well, it's Otis Elevator
Somebody
Company.
in a meeting says, you know what we need to spend some good research money on to see when people get annoyed waiting for an
I'm
elevator.
hoping somebody in the office just decided they were going to sit on the couch and just watch people and watch what they were doing. They said about 20 seconds is what it took before people started rolling their eyes, start checking their phone, pushing that button a bunch of times to see if the elevator would come faster.
Which does not help things.
It doesn't help.
No.
Well, and I was just skimming through it here. I wonder how they did it, because you behave differently when you know you're being watched. You know, maybe they were more cognizant of the fact that, okay, I'm getting annoyed. 20 seconds seems a little fast to me, but
I'm going to go watch now. There's a place down here.
Because you know what? If you can watch the numbers, if you can watch where it's at, that kind of takes away from the annoyance, because you can monitor the progress of the elevator versus nothing.
That's one of my million-dollar ideas, is that inside of an elevator you have a message board where the numbers are underneath, like go eat at Joe's, and just give you all.
because people are always
looking.
at it.
They need someplace to look anyway.
Why not advertise?
Why not advertise?
Right?
See, it's my million-dollar. Don't take it. That's our idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
also, you heard about the honeymoon period, the grace period. The honeymoon period apparently is a myth. They say
if you marry the right person, it's a honeymoon forever, right?
Yeah, right. Okay, they say, again, more research being done here. People report the lowest level of happiness during the first year of marriage. They say the average on a scale of 100, it's about 74 out of 100, your first year of marriage on a happiness scale. By year 2, it goes up to 78.4, and after 40 years, it's up to about 80.
Oh, my God. It takes 40 years to get into that
just to go up
happy phase,
a percentage and a half, roughly.
40
years later, just a little bit happier than you were in your second year. By the way, they say that people who were never married have about a 72 on a 100 scale of happiness.
They're probably doing all right. 40 years
people
later,
that are separated,
to the 80% mark.
People that are separated or divorced, their happiness level is about a 69.
No, it goes down.
Below. And speaking about being happy, how many guys out there would be very happy if they could score this? Would you marry a porn star? That was a survey that was recently done by the AVN, the Adult Video News
About how many women out there would marry a porn star?
I don't know.
These studies you share are very skewed.
Well, we'll have to look into that. Again, maybe
they're not fair and balanced. Let me just say that.
Neither is the people who claim they are. Anyway, how many guys out there would marry a porn star? We found out. New survey said, shockingly, 86% of guys said they would date a porn star, and 61%, 61.4 said, yep, I'd marry a porn star.
It's interesting.
3 out of 5 guys willing to spend the rest of their lives.
I think it's disgusting, but
with a porn star. Might be a little weird. You might think it's a little deviant.
Would you just date one? You don't have to marry them, but no. Not interested in that.
Look at that face you're making. It goes back to what we talked about yesterday about the pleasure and pain of your face. They also found out that 64% of the people said, you know something? Those movies aren't all that bad. I get some pretty good ideas by watching those movies. So they take them for what they are worth. So there you have it.
That comes at you from the Adult Video Network.
There you have it. There's your totally serious rip and read news for this morning. It is 10 minutes before 9 o'clock. We'll be right back. Take a look at birthdays and Parkins picks when we return.
At Palmer's, we're proud to offer healthy choices to our customers. From fresh green salads to your favorite sandwiches built on whole grain breads. Our healthy choices are not only good, but very good for you. Make the right choice. We look forward to serving you at Palmer's.
What do you get for the person who has everything? A Jay's gift card, of course. With thousands of items, there's a little something for everyone at Jay's. And unlike cards from the box stores, a Jay's card never expires. Stop in today.
JCD and Hobby.
$1,000. I won $1,000.
What are you doing, Suzette?
I'm practicing for when I win the Carrying Cash giveaway.
You do realize you're not eligible for that contest. You work here at the station.
Yeah, I did.
This Tuesday.
I'm Blake. Nice to meet you.
Would you heal someone?
Approach him with caution. He raped 4 women. Choked the last one with a plastic bag and left her for dead.
Who doesn't deserve to live?
You don't get to just cure good people. No personal details. Certainly not your names. This guy's a rapist.
You took an oath to heal the sick.
You're scared of me.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Emily.
My name. How does he know my name?
Emily Owens, MD.
Tonight at 8, brought to you by Plato's Closet.
If you've been injured on the job, the road to physical and emotional recovery requires persistence. Obtaining financial compensation for these injuries also demands persistence. There's also no giant step to obtain the money you deserve. It requires many careful steps with legal accuracy. The team of legal professionals at LaMarca and Landry have helped many Iowans recover the workers' compensation and benefits they deserve. For more information on your legal rights, go to youriowalawyers.com. LaMarca and Landry, your workers' compensation professionals.
Next time on Bill, more mother-daughter drama.
You have no respect for me. You don't love me. You treat me like I'm somebody on the street that you just met.
Today at 3 on KCWI.
Good morning. It is 8:52.
Hello, Governor.
Are you awake?
Yeah, I think he's up and running already.
He's been on this show.
Yes, he has.
He probably regrets
it. Was a good interview.
Yeah, he was a lot of fun.
It was a very good interview.
And he was a little more relaxed than I've seen him on other shows, too, because he was like leaning back in the chair and having a good time. So he hasn't been.
And he told you he shared stories that I had never heard before.
Well, he needs to come back. So, Governor, you need to come back and tell some Christmas stories.
Well, he should, because Congress will go into session after the first of the year, and we can talk about that and how they're going to.
And how he's decorating the.
How they what? How they what?
Screw everything up and get nothing done.
No, we need to find out how he's decorating Terrace Hill. Now, have they had their, have they had their big party yet? The one that he forgot to invite certain people to last year? Just saying, Terry. Just saying. The guy that was there last time, we have some silverware.
What did you do before to get yourself uninvited?
Nothing. No, we were just always invited. But Governor Brand said that it was an oversight, and he's going to correct it. So we'll see if he
Your
does.
invite should be in the mail.
Yeah, and if he doesn't invite us,
showing up any day
we're
now.
crashing his party. Okay. Again, it's always a good time because you get to see all the decorations and stuff at Terrace Hill. So anyway, it is time for Parkins Picks. What do we have there, Jason?
Well, today, since we're getting into the season here, I decided these are. I think for the most part they're kind of funny Christmas card ideas. A lot of people are doing sending out their family Christmas cards this time of year, and I thought some of these ideas were kind of funny. I ran across these on the internet the other day, so I'll just go through these for you. This is a family.
I like that one.
Isn't that great?
That is awesome.
I like that one.
Throw in some classic Christmas albums there and study your faces. So that's their
cool.
family Christmas card. I like this man. He's got it figured out.
That one's kind of creepy.
Napping. Yeah, that mustache is creepy.
I don't like that.
Well, he took it during November, I guess.
Like with grown men act like babies.
Oh, but you still come on this show. Evidently.
We haven't gone that far.
That's a big family right there. That's like the Duggars or something. But there they all
goodness,
are.
those
the
are
candy
people.
canes. Those are people. Yeah. I don't know how they pulled that off, but it's some Photoshop trickery.
Yeah.
That was kind of
good. Look at the shadow.
The bacon suits on the kids.
Oh, those are Lady Gaga's nephews.
Oh, what did they make that out of to make it look like that, I wonder?
I don't know.
It's bacon?
Yeah.
It's pretty good. This is the typical American family right here.
Everybody checking out
your... look at that. Give me a minute.
Yeah, just a minute.
I'll be right back.
That's funny. That's
smile.
I love this one.
Paul and his Christmas tree? That's cute.
I think every boy has one of those cars, don't they? That's good stuff. Christmas story card. That's good. Got the Red Rider.
Ah,
the
there you go.
suit.
Got the leg.
Notice where they're standing in front of the Chinese restaurant.
For Jolly. Yeah. Of course. Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
Very good. It's kind of an
that looks like Rufus. One of my pooches.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. This is
my favorite one. That must be their cat chasing them all. But I love their faces. They did a good job. I don't know these people, but they look like fun people
to hang out with.
Yeah. So there you go. That's Parkins Picks. Your pre-Christmas Parkins Picks.
All right, time to take a look.
Take any of those ideas and run with them, kids.
And birthdays, and we're not going to run out of time for birthdays. How about that? That'll be kind of interesting for a change. First of all, we'll take a look and see who's celebrating one of the 8 best faces ever created, according to some experts, and one of the 5 greatest heads ever created, Tyra Banks.
Is that what she's known for?
Yes, seriously, yeah.
8 greatest faces ever created.
And one of the 5 best heads, whatever that means.
Well.
39 years old today. Jay-Z is celebrating. He is 43. Sean Carter is his real name, just in case you're wondering.
Oh, yeah.
Beyonce's squeeze, yep. Fred Armisen from SNL turns 46.
Please don't tell me that's Robert Downey Jr.
No. He used to play President Obama when they first started doing that. One of the most attractive women in Hollywood right there, Marissa Tomei, 48 years old today. She is very cool. From Skinner. Yeah, how about this? One of the last remaining original members of the band, Gary Rossington, again of the Rossington Collins Band, and of course Leonard Skinner. What about this dude? Jeff Bridges, the dude. He turns 63 today. And how about a then and now? Then Jethro, now Max Baer Jr.
He looks like Robert
75.
Goulet, the late Robert Goulet.
And finally, turning 78 years old, the amazing host of Tic-Tac-Toe and a bunch of other game shows, Wink Martindale.
How about that? He still looks good.
He does, and his hair not dyed.
That's a current picture?
Yes, it is, yeah. That's a current picture of Wink Martindale. Have a great day, folks. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Send us your Christmas trees.
Hi, I'm Speed the Sauce Man. From time